head to Montreal tonight, where two teams going in opposite directions kick off Week 12 in the CFL. The Alouettes have dropped 3 straight, and the Blue Bombers are back above 500, winning 2 of their past 3. The only thing that makes Thursday night better is country night in La Belle Province.
Yeah!
Alouettes, Blue Bombers coming up on TSN. The Alouettes not only have dropped 3 games in a row, but they've lost 3 quarterbacks to injury over the last 3 weeks. Caleb Evans, McLeod Bethel-Thompson, and Davis Alexander, who is talking to 3 guys they found in the stands, and they haven't decided who's going to play QB. I joke. It's Cam Dukes, it's Shea Patterson, who they signed this week, and of course, James Morgan, who did show a little bit of something for the Alouettes in last week's game. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Thursday Night Football on TSN. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba and Milt Stegall as we get set for the Bombers taking on the Montreal Alouettes. And I, of course, was kidding because, look, if you're James right now, this is a glorious opportunity. And, look, the Montreal Alouettes, they need one of these QBs to step up with all the injuries. Absolutely.
It's his time. It's his time to shine, and his opportunity is right in front of him. And he showed a lot of promise last week. Yep. What I saw personally, I loved everything that I saw. And obviously he didn't get the win, but for a 4th-string quarterback to come on and have the confidence that he had, the poise that he had, and the team rally around him, I loved everything that I saw from him. Obviously, you want to see more production this week, and let's see how he's going to be supported around him as well. Milt?
And I know it was just a small sample size, but since David Alexander got hurt, their franchise quarterback, their backups really hadn't done much. I think this guy is going to give them the best opportunity to win until Davis Alexander gets back. And I know that's saying a lot. He's thrown 33 passes in his CFL career, but being that first game last week, I saw some promise in him. I know he didn't come away with the victory. I know they got mollywopped, but I saw some good things out of this guy. So I'm excited to see what he can do. We know he's coming in, and he's playing against a Bomber team, which is hungry. They're trying to get back into the race to have an opportunity to come in 2nd or 1st in the West, but I'm excited about James
Again, a
Morgan.
4th-string quarterback, a lot of intangibles. If you look at a lot of the throws that he made last week, pressure was in his face. He was taking those hits, and he was still releasing the ball.
Did I sell that? I sold that pretty well.
You sold it real well.
I'm on the bandwagon with you.
Did anyone else see Calvillo behind him as well? I mean,
So he's up next.
There's one more option
Where do I sign up?
if they need it. By the way, this is why we love the CFL. And I know, Milt, you still get this when you go to Winnipeg, but just the interaction with the fans, and you got to see this one fan and how excited. Look how excited she is.
Oh, my gosh.
It's oh my gosh, Brady! Look how amazing this is. Isn't that awesome?
Brady.
Yes.
Oh, I love the CFL.
Vibe check, what's the temperature? The forecast looks hot, here's a tip for you. We got everything you need, did I fail to mention? If you can't stand the heat, get about the kitchen. I'm a known winner, natural born leader. Call me the people's champ, cause I give it to the people, and the people wanna have it, cause the people know they need it. When it comes to the vibe, I am undefeated. Celebrate, sleep, wake up, and repeat it. Celebrate, sleep, wake up, and repeat it. That's how it goes. If you don't understand, gotta let you know.
Richard Cahuta of Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods. $1 million touchdown win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Richard. Let's get you to Montreal. It's Rod Smith and Paul LaPolice.
Thank you, Kate. We welcome you to Montreal on this beautiful summer night for the first meeting of the season between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Montreal Alouettes. These 2 teams finished first in their respective divisions, Lapo, a year ago, but things have changed, especially for the Alouettes. They just can't keep a quarterback healthy right now. They're on to number 4 tonight. James Morgan making his first CFL start.
Came in last week, 211 yards, which is the most by a Montreal quarterback since 2022. 11th in Montreal history. Put the ball downfield, did some good things. I'm looking forward to watching him play tonight. Zach Collaros, 298 yards passing, and with 18 seconds left last week, he needed 2 plays, used his feet, threw a great ball to Dembski to get ready to kick the field goal for the win.
Mike O'Shea in his 11th season as Winnipeg's head coach. Last week they improved to 5-4, a much closer finish against Ottawa than they would have liked after the Red Blacks rallied late. And For Jason Moss, the loss in Vancouver last week dropped the Alouettes to 5-5. Still 2 points behind Hamilton for first in the East. They have lost 3 straight games. There is Michael Chris Ike, one of the returners back. Winnipeg won the toss. The other returner is Peyton Logan, making his Bomber debut. He had a leg injury in camp after signing a free agent deal, so he'll take the pressure off Trey Vavel, who's getting the start in the secondary for the Bombers and had been carrying the load in the return game so far this season. So Winnipeg wants the ball to start, and they will get it to Jose Maltos Diaz with the kickoff underway on a Thursday night in Montreal. It is the ex-Stampeder Peyton Logan on his first return as a Blue Bomber, and he gets it out about to the 38-yard line for Zach Collaros to come on. Got the victory last week against Ottawa. Still 3-4 as a starter this year.
And scoring's up for their football team. Last 3 games averaged 32 points per game compared to their last 3 the previous games before that, only 17. Biggest thing for Zach, got to eliminate the turnovers. Most turnovers in the Canadian Football League. The Bombers at -11 turnover margin. They've got to clean that up. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for Montreal, they got to protect the ball.
His running back, Brady Oliveira, fakes to him. Collaros looking to his right, and he throws it in first down to Jareth Stearns. A nice addition to the receiving core of the Bombers, the former Rough Rider with the catch.
Big right tackle, Kendall Randolph, watching him all night because he's going to be against Isaac Ademi-Berglund. Going to keep an eye on him, see how he performs against Montreal's great defensive pass rusher. Nick Dembski, what can we say about him? Leading Canadian receiver in the CFL, 640 yards, one of the most versatile players in the Canadian Football League.
You saw the offensive coordinator, Jason Hogan, got a CFL start with Montreal over a decade ago. He's from this city. A trip home, and there's a tackle there on the run by Brady Oliveira. Lual Uguak got him. Oliveira, last year's leading rusher, is 5th in the league right now coming into this game.
Oliveira getting one of those early runs. Had to talk with him before. The first touchdown of the season was last week. He says, I'm a late bloomer, man, but it's going to come in spurts for me. I feel it. Said he's going to get a bunch of touchdowns as he continues. Part of establishing the run is crucial to this Bombers football team and the success of number 20.
Came in with 413 yards rushing in 7 games. Picked up 4 there, 2nd and 6. Collaros steps up, and he dumps it off, intended for Carrick Wheatfall. Still shy of the first down, but it falls incomplete, and that's it. The punting unit will come on with Jamison Sheehan to kick it away for Winnipeg.
Zach climbed the pocket. Good zone coverage, trying to find one of his underneath crossing routes. Just misses on the throw a little bit on the underneath to Carrick Wheatfall. Good stop by the Alouettes to start the game. Giving up 1 first down.
Jamison Sheehan, net punting average of 39.1, one of the top punters in the CFL. Back for it, standing at the 10 is Travis Tice, who's also in at running back with Stevie Scott tonight. So he's been busy the last few weeks. Number 30, Montreal standing back for it. The punt by the Aussie Sheehan, and Tice taking it there right at his 10. Finds a little seam and pushes it up to about the 24. James Morgan from Green Bay, Wisconsin. How could he not like football? In his blood, comes in now for his first CFL start. Came on for the injured Caleb Evans last week in Vancouver.
Jason Moss said the players are so impressed with his James Morgan's ability to understand the systems and the offense. Even in training camp, he was taking all the young receivers. They're walking through their football plays. And this is a guy who, for 10 weeks didn't get a rep at all and was able to go out and perform last week and hit some shots downfield, hit some underneath stuff. So the players have a lot of faith in him because of his preparation throughout the course of the last 12 weeks.
And he's handing off to Travis Tice on that first down play, and he gets pushed back after picking up a couple of yards. Devin Adams in on the tackle along with Kyrie Wilson.
Danny Vetrinelli looks better every time. He improves every week. Second-year player from the University of North Dakota. As an American playing on an inside spot. And Tyler Snead. I expect this guy to get a lot of touches tonight. 4th in the CFL in catches and yardage. Been a very good, versatile player for this Montreal Owls team. A lot of short passes in the screen game from James Morgan probably to Tyler Snead. You see Anthony Calvillo there, offensive coordinator, helping design a game plan for the young quarterback.
Tice gained 6, furthest advancement, 2nd and 4. And Morgan throws intended for Tice out of his hands and nearly into the hands of Kyrie Wilson at the 35. As it is, it's incomplete, and it's a 2-and-out with Montreal coming on to punt it away.
A little bit Tice goes in and breaks back out, trying to get Kyrie Wilson in a situation where he's running in and then back out. Just a little bit behind him, and he can't make that catch. Trying to get the one-on-one scenario, linebacker versus running back. Almost picked off there.
And Trey Vavel mentioning getting a break on the kickoff returns with Peyton Logan. Vavel is back. They're appearing on defense for the punt return from Joseph Zima, leading the way in net punting average in the Canadian Football League. And coming in on that shorter punt, Alouettes trying to avoid the no yards as it hops at the 46, a 34-yard punt, that's all. So Collaros and Winnipeg coming into this game at 5-4. Get the ball again here Thursday night in Montreal. Zach Collaros has certainly had moments of brilliance, but the fact is he's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns this season, and that was the case in their victory lap against the Ottawa Redblacks last week.
Yeah, 9 touchdowns on the season, but 10 interceptions. And the other thing that's kind of disappeared from his game, and Zach is a deep ball thrower. He's only got 8 30-plus passes this season, and when you have 30-plus passes, you're going to flip the field and get touchdowns. So that's an area they've got to continue to work on offensively, get more explosive pass plays.
Here we are, second possession, 1st and 10. Collaros back with time off to the left. That is caught by Montreal native Kevin Sklercius. A trip back home, played his high school football here before he went off to Connecticut in his second year, gain of 11.
Zone coverage. Zach sees everybody lift, and what does that mean? Everybody gets depth, so he throws the underneath throw. And to the wide side of the field, there's a lot of space. You get out there to the space, gets an opportunity to get a first down on first down, throwing the underneath to Sklercius.
Sklercius gets it over midfield. They're in the Montreal zone. Collaros flushed out left, completes another one. Down on the sideline and more after the catch. Inside the 30, that's Carrick Wheatfall, gets it down close to the Alouette 25.
Zach uses his legs to climb the pocket and move offset as the protection. He feels a little bit of pressure inside. The end loose contained. He goes outside to get the throw on the outside to Wheatfall. You got to contain his legs. Zach's going to make you pay when you go inside and prevent and not play contain on this mobile quarterback. He's not going to run around and hurt your rod with his legs, but he's going to find downfield throws when he buys more time.
Gets it down to the 27 after a gain of 25. Play action pass. Collaros steps up again. He wants to run. He does. Inside the 20. Jeffrey Cantara-Cool making sure he heads down, but that's a good pickup. 10 yards for Zach Collaros, using his legs to move the football.
A little bit of deeper shot play like we just talked about, trying to get more explosive plays. When this the play action's not there, they're trying to get a wheel route up the sideline. Zach says, hey, it's time for me to go. Get the yardage I can and then get down. Once you get another, using his legs to create first down opportunities. Defenses hate it, Rod, when the quarterback's just running around creating first downs with his legs.
Does that. Gets it inside the 20 down to the 17. And into the red zone they go again. You saw their numbers once they get inside the 20. Looking to cash in here and a scoreless tie early to week 12. The opening game on a Thursday night in Montreal. Faking to Oliveira again, and then throwing it off to the right, completes it to Stearns, his second catch of this young game. Gets it down to the 10, a gain of 7. We got a 2nd and 3 coming up.
Sean Oakman, all 6'9" of them. He blocks the sun out. He got 4 sacks this season, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 block kicks this year. Darnell Sankey, season high 11 tackles last week. He leads the Owls with 43. Hey, and Kavian Ento returns. Missed the last 3 games. Still the team leader in interceptions, 3 so far. He's played 7 games this season. I'm sure Noel Thorpe and company are happy to have Kavian Ento back in the game.
Their talented field corner in his 3rd year at Colorado, Kavian Ento, back in that Alouette lineup. Here we go, 2nd and 3 now. And the little toss to Dembski. The sweep, the first down, too. He gets enough. Had to get down to about the 7, and he gets that and a little bit more for Nick Dembski on that toss from Collaros.
He's going to walk over to this side of the field, and then he's just going to come back on the other. A little bit of action, one direction, then come back the other side. Uguwek chases the offensive lineman going in one direction. It's good eye distraction. I always talk about having a lot of eye candy for the defensive line. What does that mean? Try to show one look and flip the ball somewhere else to slow the defense down. Nice call by Jason Hogan. Getting Dembski, as I said off the top, one of the most versatile players in the CFL football.
Here we go. First and goal. Bombers dumping it off, and Collaros was facing pressure. The nearest receiver was Wheatfall, right in the middle around the line of scrimmage. So that play got all messed up and goes down incomplete. Second and goal now from the Alouettes 6.
Najee Murray's coming off. You'll see him right here. He's going to rush right at the quarterback. And Zach's trying to get one of the throws out here, but he has to see Murray. If Murray goes straight upfield, hand the ball off, let the back run with it, because he's going to have a guy right in his face. That's what happened on that play. Good stop by Najee Murray, making sure he's playing contain on the quarterback.
And like Zach Collaros, a native of Steubenville, Ohio. Second and goal. Collaros steps up. Will he take off again inside the 5 and tackled there in space? Jeffrey Cantar-Arcu. Collaros tried it and ran out of room, and so a field goal situation is coming up here for Winnipeg with the ball just inside the Alouette 5.
Big stop for this Montreal defense. This is a team that has struggled stopping people in the red zone. They're worst in the Canadian Football League. They play zone. Zach's trying to hit the quick out. Can't find anybody on the quick out. He has to scramble. John Lemon and company are there. Get the stop. Good stop by the defense of the Owls.
Little chip shot for Sergio Castillo compared to what we're used to with him. Those long kicks. This is a short one here. About the 13, pops it through. Another one for Castillo's. Only 3 misses on the year. That's 25 of 28 for the veteran Bomber kicker to put the opening points on the board. Well, the Bombers were close to the end zone. Not close enough. The drive ended right there. Jeffrey Cantar-Arcu stopping Collaros.
It's been a rough go for the quarterback position. Davis Alexander in July pulled a hamstring. Going to be out quite some time. McLeod Bethel-Thompson on this pick 6 a couple of weeks ago hurts his elbow. And Caleb Evans last week early in the game had season-ending surgery to force our 4th quarterback for the Montreal Alouettes.
So here's James Morgan and a deep shot. Open up the second possession. It's caught. Going down to Alexander Hollins. New to the Alouettes with the BC Lions a year ago. Hollins with the first big play for Montreal, and a completion for James Morgan in his first CFL start.
It's going to be a one-on-one on the outside, but just basically a double move. Starts in, pretends to run a dig, and then goes deep. That's very difficult to be able to make that play for Dexter Lawson, because he starts to jump inside, and Hollins is out there. One-on-one situation, got a big quarterback. I like the call. It's a simple read for the quarterback. Throw it to one guy. It's either a big completion or an incomplete.
45-yard gain. They go to the ground. Travis Tice right side. Pushing along with the leading tackler of the Bombers, Tony Jones, on him, but another good pickup on the ground.
James Vaughters tied for this top sack master for Winnipeg with 3 sacks this season. Looked really good on tape. Tony Jones fitting very well into this career high 11 tackles last week, 2nd in the Canadian Football League in tackles. And Evan Holm had an interception last week for his 3rd of the season. North Dakota alum.
Gain of 7. Travis Tice has 13 yards on 2 carries now. Inside the 20, the Alouettes, and Morgan handed off to Tice. First down and more. Breaking tackles and spinning down inside the 10, down to around the 7 for the hard-running rookie of the Alouettes, Travis Tice.
Great double team at the point of attack. Callender and Lestage dropping the defensive lineman, creating a huge crease for Tice to get through. And Tice is always going to make 1 or 2 people miss. One of the best make-you-miss running backs in the Canadian Football League. Nice run on 2nd and short to get the first down inside the 10-yard line.
There's an injured player in the field. It's Montreal native Retta Cramdy. Played for the Montreal Caravan before being drafted by Winnipeg, starting at safety, making the move back there after being at the strong side linebacker position. But Cramdy just still sitting down and getting some attention now after that run by Travis Tice to set up a 1st and goal for the Alouettes in their response drive after Winnipeg opened up the scoring.
Rod,
we'll take a quick break here in Montreal. Thursday Night Football on TSN.
Reddick Ramsey from his free safety positions coming down. Tice trying to make a miss. Hits his head. Takes a little bit of shot. Went off on the sideline. Should be okay. Looking at the iPad, checking the series.
And so taking his spot at safety is Cam Allen, number 0. Here's running play again by Tice. Breaks a tackle. Kyrie Wilson thought he had him behind the line, but he manages to push it closer to the 5 in that 1st and goal play. 2nd and goal coming up here for the Alouettes.
That's what you talk about Tice. Every time I watch this guy carry the football, he's somebody who's going to make the first person miss. He's always what I always call, I use the term Roger Craig. Use your legs, bring your legs up, break tackles. Roger Craig was a great running back in the NFL, and that's what I used to tell our running backs. Hey, make sure you're Roger Craig it through the hole. Bring your feet up. He always brings his feet with him, makes Kyrie Wilson miss, and gets extra yards.
Great reference from the past. Roger Craig, star with the 49ers back in the 80s. Here's Morgan. 2nd and goal. No, looking for Hollins again, who wants a call. Doesn't get the flag. It's incomplete. And we got a 3rd down, and looks like field goal team will be coming on here for Montreal.
Once again, Jason Maas, I like how he's calling this football game. That James Morgan here gets an opportunity to use the strength of his arm and throw a one-on-one throw on the outside to Hollins. So there's not a lot of thought process. There's not a lot. What coverage was it? What'd you see here? It's like take the throw, use your arm strength, throw the ball on the one-on-one on the outside. Just missed it a little bit far inside.
And no challenge issued there by Jason Maas on that coverage. Hollins, so it's Jose Maltos Diaz. Short kick coming up here, puts it through, evens the score. Maltos Diaz having a great season. The kicker for the Alouettes. Tie ball game Thursday night, 1st quarter. There's James Morgan right in behind Hakeem Harris there in his first CFL start. As mentioned, he's from Green Bay, so, Jay, I wonder what quarterbacks he liked growing up. Let's say hello to Matthew Shinetti.
Well, if you're growing up in the shadow of Lambeau Field, of course, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers are going to be your guys, even though James Morgan, of course, isn't going to go ahead and say one or the other. But the key point this week, as you guys already mentioned, is Jason Maas has a lot of faith in James Morgan. He has to look at the injury list and the quarterbacks on the 6-game injured list. But the one thing that Maas said this week is we can't put it all on Morgan. Sure, he is very, very capable in the offense and certainly understands the schemes. But it has to be on our offensive line to set the stage for him. It has to be on the defensive line to make sure that we're getting the ball back and that Morgan has the opportunities. I asked Maas if he's ever been in a situation where he's had to go potentially to a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th quarterback. He said absolutely not. Maybe James Morgan, Maas told me, could be a Hall of Famer, but we don't have to expect him to be a Hall of Famer tonight. Everyone else has to step up and lock in. Rod?
It's kind of been thrown in the fire too, Matthew, when you think he was 4th in the depth to start. But how about that, those shots with Brett Favre? When he was a kid, he wore number 4. When Rodgers took over from Favre, he wore number 12. And he would not pick between the two when we asked him a few days ago. He was a big fan of both. That's Peyton Logan on the return now for Winnipeg in a tie ball game. Upended. Coming in, Don Callis, a good special teams tackle, all fired up for the Alouettes.
Peyton Logan drawing the start to be able to help out. He may do some punt returning today. We'll see what happens. You know, you got Trey Bavel who's starting at defense and doing punt returns. He's done such a great job punt returns, but it's good to have Peyton Logan, a veteran returner, to help you if you need to take some pressure off your starting corner.
And Callis, in his 3rd game with the Alouettes, is on the practice roster, activated into that secondary, and quickly that toss to Logan. Using him on offense, too. He takes a hit initially from Isaac Adeyemi Berglund. He spins, picks up a couple more yards, and a 2nd down coming up after a 3-yard gain.
And when you get a guy like this on the roster who is a very good returner, this is some of the things you would do as an offense coordinator. Just simple, hey, we're going to put him into the boundary where we have 2 blockers for 2 defenders. Give him the ball in space, let him get some yardage. Good 5-yard gain on 1st down.
Yeah, 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5 coming up here for Mike O'Shea's Winnipeg offense coming into this game at 5-4 in that very competitive West Division. Four-man rush. Collaros runs out of time, barely gets it away to Oliveira, who makes something happen with it. First down and more. Up to the Winnipeg 50. Just before Collaros was hit from behind, he managed to shovel that one into the hands of Oliveira.
Debbie Berglund comes off this edge. As Zach can't find anybody originally, they're zoned, but they're dropping people out. Zach feels it, the pressure, and gets it off at the last second to Brady. I've always talked about Zach as like a magician in the pocket with his hands. He's a former baseball player. He can just flip the ball, different angles, different arm angles to his receivers.
From the Winnipeg 50, throwing again over the middle. That is caught. Across midfield, Carrick Wheatfall has the catch. It's shy of a first down. It'll be second and short coming up here for Winnipeg.
Montreal playing a lot of zone, trying to make Zach drive the length of the field, trying to force them to make sure they can, that they have to drive and execute a long series, prevent explosive plays.
Running this time, Oliveira finds room and more. There goes Brady Oliveira down to the 25. And his biggest running play gets it down and a first down, 28-yard pickup.
Great at the point of attack here. Wallace and Kolonkowski, watch them, what they do. To Sean Oakman, gets Brady an opportunity to get on the outside on the draw play. Get the defenders coming upfield, hand it off on a draw play, slow the pass rush down. Nice call.
2 carries, 32 yards, Oliveira. Sneaks out of the backfield. Collaros goes to the right and slides. Not much doing, down to about the 22 on that first down play.
You can see a little bit of a Montreal's thought process. They got a lot of people at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to confuse Zach and not let him see. Hard part with veteran quarterbacks, they know where to go with the ball if you show those pre-snap looks. Noel Thorpe here is showing, hey, I'm going to try to disguise it as long as I can, and when the ball snapped, I'm going to show you a different look. That's happened 3 times in the course of this first quarter, forcing Zach to pull the ball down and run.
This is the Bombers' 3rd possession of the game. The last time out, they got it all the way down inside the Montreal 5 before they settled for a field goal. On the move again on a second down. That's to Oliveira. And the run after that catch, and a flag comes out as well. Tyrell Richards, Tyrese Beverette involved on the tackle down in what would be another first down for Winnipeg. The referee is Justin McInnes as they sort this out.
Roughing the passer, Montreal, number 98. 15 yards from the end of the play and an automatic first down.
That's Al's defensive tackle Dylan Wynn called for roughing the passer, and that'll push the Bombers closer to the Alouettes end zone.
You can see him at the end of the play. I think he goes into Zach's legs here. Or they're going to say that's, I guess they think that's a late hit because he didn't go for the legs. Usually when the quarterback's in the stance, you cannot hit him below the knees, but that did not look super late to me, Rod, but
the penalty gets them down to the 2 and a first and goal. Winnipeg faking to Oliveira. To the right, touchdown, Nick Dembski. He leads Winnipeg in touchdowns this season. That is his 6th. And another catch for Nick Dembski, who's now done it in 81 straight games. Put 6 on the board for the Bombers.
Dembski comes across the field with a lot of speed, so the player chasing him in man coverage is going to be in a trail position. You can see Murray trying to figure out, is it a run or is it a pass? He gets in a little bit of a conflict of assignment. By that time, Nick Dembski's already outflanked him. Zach's just got to pull it, get on the perimeter, flip it out to Dembski.
One of the veterans now of that Blue Bomber offense, and what a story Nick Dembski has been. And this has been statistically his best season so far in receptions and in yardage and in touchdowns as well. He's projecting out for career highs in a single season. Has the catch, and that one catch by Nick Dembski gets them in the end zone. 2-yard touchdown. Winnipeg has the lead again.
Smart quarterbacking, throwing the checkdowns when they're there. Get the underneath throws. Let your playmakers make the plays. Biggest play of this drive, the draw play on 2nd and 3. Get you into the red zone. Once again, Zach using his legs, getting the ball on the perimeter for the nice touchdown to Dembski. 400th catch for Nick. Puts him in pretty good company. Clarence Denmark, Terrence Edwards, Milt Stiegel. Those are some all-time greats. And look at James Murphy and Joe Popolowski. Outstanding group.
Yeah, 400. You see that guy Stiegel at the top? Dembski's been great. He's not even halfway there. Gives you an idea what 85 did in his career, but that's number 400. The touchdown to make it 10-3 is set, extending his consecutive streak up. And Charleston Rambo now back as one of the kick returners, along with Travis Tice. As Winnipeg's up a touchdown, Castillo with the kickoff. Still in the first quarter, Tice to take it at the 22. Works his way up around the 41 before he is tackled. That was the final play of the first quarter. A couple of good drives for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. One time they got down inside the 5, settled for a field goal. The next time, all the way down, and Zach Collaros finds his favorite target, Nick Dembski. 10-3, Winnipeg leads. Through one quarter here in Montreal, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers lead the Alouettes 10-3. As you look at those numbers, impressive work on a couple of drives by Zach Collaros and company to move the football. One of the things you notice about here in Montreal especially, the face paint. Isaac Adeyemi Berglund and a lot of other players who really love to put it on and fire themselves up to get ready for a football game, Lapo. It's something that we've been talking, Lapo. We're on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm on?
Goodness.
Oh, my God. Right? Hey, I got to get in with all the face paint, guys. This is awesome. The budget for face paint must be crazy.
Will it really make me look more intimidating?
Look tougher. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, we'll give it a shot here. So
nice. Excellent.
Okay. I don't have a mirror or anything like that. So
it's a good look for you.
Use the camera. That's good.
Go
under the eyes. I remember a time when it was just strictly under the eyes, just because of glare. And now look what it's turned into. So it's Stevie Scott, the running back for the Alouettes, now in a 10-3 hole to start the second quarter with the football. This stuff does wash off, right?
I hope so. That'll be good.
Okay.
Short yardage situation with just going to walk up, put James. You got a big quarterback. You got a 240-pound guy, 6'4". Give him the opportunity to just fall forward and get the first down with a tempo play. The one thing watching Jason Moss, and the one thing I have trust in Jason Moss, when you watch him, the hardest thing as an offensive coordinator is you watch the game film. You're like, we could run this way. We could run this way. Oh, look at how Winnipeg's playing defense this week. You can go through a million different scenarios of different plays to run that you think are good for touchdowns. But if your quarterback can't execute them, you don't want to put that quarterback in that situation. Jason is so good at giving his quarterbacks simple plays. They run as many screen plays as any team in the Canadian Football League. I know they're going to put him in good situations.
It's a 1st and 10 from the 51. The toss back. And he's throwing. It's Tyler Sneed. A deep ball for Hollins, who's got another long reception for Alexander Hollins. This time, courtesy Tyler Sneed, as the Alouettes offense opens up the bag of tricks. 44 yards after a 45-yarder in the first quarter.
This is what Jason talked about, as Matthew Scianetti said. Hey, it's all of us got to make our plays. What is this? Hey, let's try to do a little misdirection play. Misdirection turns into a double pass, trying to get Vavil's eyes in a bad spot, so he's looking to see, oh, it's a reverse. No, it's a throw. The sell by Sneed, it does it. Too many running backs or guys who are going to throw that double pass, they start getting like a quarterback. He ran the ball as long as he could, then pulled it the last second.
Stevie Scott breaks free to the right, takes a hit, but he manages to lunge forward. Hit there by Vavel as Scott has another carry. Another good pickup as all of a sudden the Alouettes working their way down close to the Winnipeg end zone.
Good run in the football, trying to stay on schedule. This is the second and short of this drive. Not putting your quarterback in tough situations.
So Morgan again, short yardage. Morgan stays in, tries to pull his way forward. Retta Cramdy in there, and there's just not much. He did not get much there, and it was second down play.
Really good stop here, and I expect this to continue to happen, that he is the short yardage quarterback for the course of the game. With 2 new quarterbacks in the building, I think he's had probably the most reps or practice of the cadence and working with all the guys. So if they're going to go short yardage, he'll continue to use it.
By the way, how many quarterbacks do you see with face paint usually?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
There's good look.
There's Cameron Dukes, who was the short yardage QB for Chad Kelly in several situations a couple of years ago in his first year with the Argos in 23. And, of course, he started a lot of games in the first half of the season with Toronto last year. They didn't get it. Try again. Morgan will get it this time. Pushes through. And we got a first down and goal coming up here for the Alouettes.
Great surge up front. That's what this play needs. You need a surge from your O-line. And if you see it right from the start, Jamar McGloster got lower, got more physical, created the space to get that first down and create their first and goal from the 4-yard line.
Right back comes Montreal. Had a couple of big plays to new receiver Alexander Hollins in this first half. That latest one from Tyler Snead sets them up here, just inside the 5. First down, taking the handoff. End zone! Touchdown! What a drive for Tyler Snead! Throws a long pass, and then he catches one for another touchdown for Snead. And the first one as a starter for James Morgan. He threw one in relief last week in Vancouver.
Why this works is because Retta Crandy is right there. That's your free safety. So if he's up to stop the run, you can throw behind him. And there's no help. Looks like a run play. It's probably a pass attached to that run. And they say, hey, if the free safety's deep, hand the ball off. If he's got depth, you've got a one-on-one. It's too difficult for the halfbacks to be able to cover that much space. Nice throw by James Morgan.
That's the 3rd touchdown catch of the season for their leading receiver, Tyler Snead. With this point after try by Jose Maltos Diaz, makes it a tie game again, capping off a 7-play, 70-yard drive. Tyler Snead completed a 44-yard pass to Alex Hollins, and then he's on the receiving end there. Davis Alexander's loving it. 10-10 tie.
70-yard drive. Hand to reverse to Tyler Snead. Sell it. Throw it deep downfield for the big explosive play. Scott gets an 8-yard gain. Create a couple of short yardage situations. And then in the red zone, free safety bites up. Go back to Snead for the touchdown. So 3 minutes, 36 seconds, 70 yards.
Did you notice that celebration, too, by James Morgan? A tribute to a former Packer quarterback for the Green Bay native and Aaron Rodgers. And Tyler Snead chipping in all sorts of ways on that drive, throwing a 44-yarder and then catching that one for the touchdown. Peyton Logan is back at his 12. 10-10 tie. Back and forth they go. Tackle there, Scott Hutter on special teams. Veteran out of Wilfrid Laurier hauling down Peyton Logan. Zach Collaros tonight, 9 of 11. He had 85 yards and a touchdown to Nick Dembski. And as mentioned, they've had 3 possessions in this game, and 2 of them, they worked their way right down the field. Field goal, then the TD.
Zach's been very efficient. Seeing the pictures to throw the checkdowns when the checkdowns are there. Montreal's trying not to give him any opportunities to push the ball downfield.
For Zach Collaros in his 13th season at the University of Cincinnati. 2-time Grey Cup champion, 2-time MOP. He and Dembski connecting again. Brady Oliveira's got the ball. Tyrese Beverette jumps on his back and calls him down around the 34. 5 more yards, though, for Brady Oliveira.
One of the staples of this Bomber offense is always have a threat of Zach using his legs, keep the ends wide, and then hand it off to Brady Oliveira up and inside. See Jason Hogan there, coordinator. As you said, Rod, is from Montreal, is from the east of Montreal area. Got a lot of family in for this game.
First, it was Tom Higgins' lapo that gave him a chance for the Alouette organization. Later worked with Danny Machocha with the Montreal Caravan. Little shovel pass inside to Oliveira. Goes to work again after that. The yardage after that catch and works his way up for a first down, 8 more yards. Najee Murray on the tackle.
Little misdirection with a shovel. You have one going this way, and then Brady's going to add. You're going to send 2 people to the backside. You're going to block back, and you're going to pull and option the end man on the line of scrimmage. So here you go. So Sean Lemon comes up. You flip it to Brady with everybody blocking back and inside. Nice scheme and execution. Get those ends upfield. Pitch it back inside.
6 touches, 62 yards for Brady Oliveira. Now it's Jared Stearns in his hands on the sideline, working his way up, and a flag does come out as Stearns gets it up to around the 48. Flag coming out near Stearns, the ball carrier.
In my time coaching Zach, you know, we only had a couple weeks in 2019, that Grey Cup year. I was just so impressed.
Holding, Winnipeg, number 86. 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
So impressed with his ability to flip the ball out, as you see him right here. He's getting the ball on the perimeter because I got an opportunity to get Jared Stearns the ball on the perimeter. You'll see right there, Kevin Clarcius with the hold that backs him up there. But Zach is so good at these quick throws on the perimeter.
Got his hands on Keontae Evans, the field half, trying to block there for Stearns. So they get flagged for the hold. They're back at their 32 and a first and 20 now after that holding penalty. And Collaros to throw on this first down and long. Pressure, and he dishes it off to Oliveira again to get out of that pressure, who gets it up to about the 43. So they get that penalty yardage back. It'll be a second and long coming up.
Here's what's hard about playing this defense. That's Jeffrey Cantnar-Coup from a linebacker spot. Watch what he does. He's going to run and play a deep safety. Noel Thorpe loves dropping people out, putting different people in what he calls the post area, the middle of the field. So Zach's trying to figure out what's the coverage, what it is. Now, Montreal's like, okay, great. You can dump it down to Brady all day. We're going to rally up and make tackles. But the ability of this defense to show multiple looks is what makes it hard to play against.
Second down and long. Collaros gets flushed out by a blitzing Tyrese Beveretti. It's rid of it, and it is caught too. Nick Dembski has it. Another catch for Dembski. Already extended his consecutive streak with a touchdown catch, and this one gets it inside the Alouette 50, a gain of 17 yards.
When you're a defender, if you're going to rush the quarterback, you cannot break contain. You cannot lose contain. Zach's difficult. Beveret's coming off. He loses contain. Now Zach's on the move. He finds Dembski. Dembski goes into his scramble rules for the catch. Great play by the legs of Zach Collaros.
Here come the Bombers now. The Montreal 48. Collaros pressure coming again to Dembski again. He gets tackled shy of the 40. It's Arthur Hamlin, the safety there, along with Kabianento down around the Montreal 41.
Nice quick throw by Zach, getting the ball outside into the pressure. Get the ball out to Dembski. We're going tempo here on second and short. Second time on trying to get a quick run.
And they go backwards, though, Lapo, after the fake to Oliveira. Collaros kept the ball. Isaac Berglund and Najee Murray were in there as Noel Thorpe was bringing the heat again, and that was on a 2nd and 2 play. Now it's a 3rd and about 9.
So Zach takes this. He's definitely pulling it. Can't find anybody here. Demi Berglund's more upfield, forces him back. And then the pressure from the front side shows up. There was a free rusher off the front side. Looked like Tyrell Richards got to him. So forces this long. Right, this could have put you in punt. You know, now it's going to put you in position. You got to punt. They were possibly in field goal range. So difficult sack to take. Takes you maybe 3 points off the board.
The sack for Murray on a quarterback he grew up watching back in his hometown, as mentioned, in Stephenville, Ohio. Punting situation. Jamison Sheen inside his 50 now. The Bombers drive stalls. The Alouettes to get the ball back deep in their zone as Tice watches it. And it sails out of bounds, has to go out of bounds in the air inside the 10 or the 15, and it looks like it does. On this beautiful night in Montreal, we'll be back.
Welcome back to Montreal, and as the Larry O'Brien Trophy makes another trip to another CFL city, here is Lou Getz-Dorp, the pride of Montreal, raising the NBA championship, just like, say, Gilgeous Alexander did a few weeks ago in Hamilton. A wonderful opportunity for a Haitian Canadian to embrace his community. And Rod, the response here from Montreal was a lot of love back to an NBA champion.
From Montreal, Lou Dort, Matthew. That's awesome, as it was for SGA when he was in Hamilton a few weeks ago. And yeah, that Larry O'Brien trophy is certainly making its rounds in Canadian CFL cities. Lou Dort bringing it to Montreal, and great applause and appreciation from the fans here. It's Travis Tice, the ball carrier in this 10-10 tie. Montreal football under about 6 minutes to go. 6:06 on the clock until halftime.
Sure would have. I think Montreal tried to play the football before, tried to run a play before the play was clocked in, so they're going to restart it. And the clock started now. Long way to go. So good start. You know, you didn't get the points you want, but you pinned Montreal in. 90 to 100-yard drives do not get a lot of touchdowns in this league.
So here we go, 1st and 10. Morgan, and that one goes high on Sneed. Those two connected a few moments ago for a touchdown that led to the tie ball game. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Elite company indeed for receiving yards this season. You look at Sneed. Understandably, a lot of talk about those three to the left in Hatcher and Coxie and Lawler, but Tyler Sneed leading the way among receivers for the Alouettes. He's having a great year.
Yeah, and Sneed doing it from that slot position that, you know, he moves all the way around within this system, but a lot of times he is the boundary number 2 receiver. Should be one of your smartest, fastest guys.
James Morgan's chucking it deep, and he wants Rambo or Sneed in the area. It's intercepted. Winnipeg. Evan Holm has himself another pick as he got hit while he was throwing the football, and Holm was waiting for that. 4th interception of the season, leading the Bombers in that department for Evan Holm in his 4th year out of North Dakota.
It looks like off the edge, Jay Pearson is going to get a piece of this play.
Just got a bit, and Morgan is picked off. Winnipeg football.
If you watch, Jay Pearson makes Montreal pay for a mistake in protection. Roll it, guys, for a little bit, and I'll tell you to stop. Go ahead. We roll this pass play, and then pause it right here. So watch what happens. He goes in to help. There's nobody on the outside. He's got to stay on the perimeter to make sure he takes Pearson. Pearson has a free rein. He gets involved with the throw. The throw ends up going high. Now easy opportunity for the middle of the field for Evan Holm to get his 4th interception of the season.
Just waiting for it there. Closest receiver was Tyler Sneed. The Winnipeg ball. Dembski with it, but running around and behind it ended up being pushed back. Nothing happens on that Winnipeg offensive play. On an interception, by the way, that if you look at it differently, Dembski's still down and looks to be hurting. I'm going to say ended up being, in effect, a 39-yard punt with that long interception, but Winnipeg in the 1st down play, and Dembski in a lot of discomfort and getting some attention now, lying down, face down in the field.
See Al Couture there, longtime trainer for the Bombers, trying to check on Nick. Michael O'Shea had a lot of great things to say about Jason Moss and about the effort this team plays, and you can see the effort right on this play. Deontay Evans ends up chasing this ball down. They see it's a screen behind the line of scrimmage, beats the block, forces contain. It's like, make sure I'm not going to allow you outside of me. I'm going to stop your feet, and I'm going to make the tackle. That's the one thing Osh talked about. This team will come. They're going to come with speed. They're going to play hard. They're going to compete. It's like there. He bangs his head right there. Hopefully he's okay. With
Kabianento and Luau coming in, and yeah, you saw Dembski falling back and hitting his head hard to the turf here at Molson Stadium, and still on his knees and very slow and trying to get up. So a pause here in this game. That was a loss of 3 yards, by the way, and they're just in the Alouette side of midfield and a 2nd down. Nick Dembski, who came over to the Bombers after the Riders had drafted him, came over in 2018. Their offensive coordinator at the time was Paul Lapalisse, and you moved him around. You saw great potential in him in other departments, in other areas, and getting him more involved in the running game too.
He was playing field number 1 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They kept him to the wide side of the field all the time, and I just remember his ability with the ball in his hand. He was a punt returner for them, but on the field as an offensive player, so we recruited him and said, listen, we want you to play slot. I'm going to utilize you on speed sweeps. I'm going to put you in the backfield. I had him playing quarterback at times and ran quarterback runs with him just because he was so versatile, and he was a fun toy as an offensive coordinator for 2 years to try to create schemes for him each week between him and Andrew Harris and some of the other guys we had.
And it really helped his career take off. Buck Pierce followed you, and now Jason Hogan is the offensive coordinator, so he's out. And that is caught the first down. Caleros hits Carrick Wheatfall. And their biggest offensive play down to the 20 of the Alouettes very quickly. Winnipeg took over, and on that second down play, 32 yards, here they come again.
Here's what you call a leveled throw. He's going to go. He's going to trail it by a little bit. Let the underneath coverage get higher, and then you're trying to throw it somewhere in there. You can see it in real time. You just got to beat this throw over the Will linebacker, and the corner's trying to get in there to make the play. But that's a great throw by Zach, trusting that he can get it over the Will linebacker. Wheatfall, big target, nice catch.
Dropped it in nicely. 11th straight completion for Zach Caleros, who's 15 of 17 for 159. First and 10. Bombers back to Oliveira. And pushes his way through for a couple of yards. They're inside the 20, down to about the 18. And Nick Dembski, I'm told, has gone to the dressing room for the Blue Bombers a couple of plays ago. Looked like he hit his head hard on the turf being tackled, and I'm sure heading off for more examination. 2nd and 8 coming up after that 2-yard pickup by Oliveira.
Still giving Brady opportunities. He's averaging almost 10 yards a carry. He's got a long and 9. The draw play was the big one, but you got to keep giving him opportunities on 1st and 10.
Second and 8. Caught by Clercius, shy of the first down, and then pushed back by Lorenzo Burns. 3rd down coming up. Just under 3 minutes to go. 3-minute warning is given. On a good first half, both teams moving the football well, each with 10 points to show for it. Winnipeg threatening to take the lead again.
Coming up at the half. Whoa, look at those snappy new graphics.
Nice. Who did those, I wonder?
Is this not the last Thursday night football game of the season?
Last one.
It.
Better late
So
than
we
never.
decided to break them out now?
Better late than never.
It's kind of like the face paint with Lapo and Rod. We better see more of that, too.
No.
No promises, Kate Burness. Thank you. Well, you know what? It is a little harder room. We'll see at three-quarter time what we've got going here. Lapa got me. I was just too tempted because Lapa looked fearsome with that face paint on. Most intimidating analyst out there, right, with that. Look at that. We got some for Tyler Sneed. You saw James Morgan at one. There's Cole Speaker. The Alouettes love their face paint. So the inside 3 minutes now. Sergio Castillo, 1 for 1. This is a 20-yarder. To once again give Winnipeg the lead. A few lead changes in this one, or at least with Montreal coming back to tie it a couple of times, but it's 3 in front for the Bombers, looking to take that lead into the dressing room. Still 2:45 to go. Well, the Tour Championship continues tomorrow with second-round action. Getting down to the final, well, let's see, about 30 golfers still in it. Coverage getting underway, 11:15 a.m. Eastern, 8:15 a.m. Pacific on TSN+. Nick Taylor still in that elite group in the Tour Championship. Corey Connors as well, the Canadian golfers. You can watch that on TSN+. Tomorrow, it's the start of Week 12 in the CFL on TSN tonight. Kind of sentimental, too. Final Thursday night. They break the great graphics out back for Kate and the panel in the studio. Coming up, James Morgan has a touchdown pass in this game. Was picked off the last time the Alouettes had the ball. He hands off there. That's Stevie Scott. Getting more time at running back, Travis Tyson. The kick returns, and Sean Thomas Erlington, by the way. They initially had 3 on the depth chart, but Thomas Erlington, injured in a game-time decision, was scratched from the lineup. So look for more as Stevie Scott, number 8. in this game as the Alouettes try to establish a running game in this one too. There's Sean Thomas Erlington, the Montreal native, enjoying his time back home, but out of the lineup tonight, one of several injured Alouettes. 2nd and 9, and off to the right, it's Charleston Rambo. Just beyond the 40, Michael Griffin is right on him. Not enough for a first down. Joseph Zima will be heading back on.
Good stop. Kyrie Wilson on the run play, and Michael Griffin on the pass play out to the flat. Sometimes more difficult to make that tackle in space, and you think there's a lot of space out there. Griffin's right there to take down Rambo. Good 2 and out. Give the ball back for the Bombers. The Bombers now need to take all this time away. I used to call this squirrel. You're going to squirrel away all the time to give Montreal no possessions, Rod, but they want to finish with a touchdown.
Heading down to about 2 minutes to go until halftime. Plenty of time, especially the way Collaros in that offense has been moving the football. They did lose Nick Dembski. We haven't heard for how long. He headed to the dressing room. But still, Winnipeg's offense has had some things going on tonight. There's Trey Babel on the punt return. And nice special teams tackle there by Tyrell Richards. So Collaros coming back on. 16 of 18, 166 yards. Another look at the special teams coverage there by Richards and the Alouettes. Beverett too.
Richards is tied in the Canadian Football League for first with 15 special teams tackles. He's tied with Alexander Gagné. Very, very good special team. They have 2 great special teams players on this football team, both tied for first in the Canadian Football League. Richards, a great player out of Syracuse, drafted a couple years ago to this organization.
So mentioning Collaros, 12 straight completions and 16 of 18. Late first half on the ground. And Oliveira pushing his way up closer to the 35. Oliveira, his 5th carry. He also has 4 receptions for 36 yards.
Plenty of time left in this game to let the clock run. Like I said, you're going to try to bring some of this clock down, but still drive the length of the field for a touchdown.
He gained 5 there, Lapo. He has 5 carries for 44 yards, so just about 9 yards a carry for Brady Oliveira. And not to mention, we said the 36, so 90 total yards of offense for Brady Oliveira in this first half. And he's adding to it now. On the ground, head down, and running hard as Oliveira does for another Winnipeg first down. Still 1:17 on the clock and another 11-yard pickup.
Always like some of these calls, especially when you're facing a defense from Noel Thorpe that's showing you all different types of pictures, all different types of coverages, people dropping off. Call a nice, simple zone read play, your base play that everybody in your system knows. Block it up, give it to Brady on 2nd and 5. Good hit for the first down. Keep the chains moving.
Just up across the 45 for Winnipeg. Barely a minute to go. Ticking down to 1 minute left. Here at Molson Stadium. Till halftime. Collaros to throw. That is caught. And up across their 50. Going down is Clercius after a 5-yard pickup. 2nd down and 5 coming up. Still lots of time in the final minute for Winnipeg.
His emotions down, goes out. But what you can see is there's a lot of people at the line of scrimmage trying to show a blitz, and then they drop out. But when you drop out from the line of scrimmage, you're going to have a voided area. They hit the voided area. Zach's seeing the pictures very well.
Rookie Joey Corcoran is in at slot back in place of the injured Nick Dembski. Is there on the right of Collaros, who's looking off to the left. Takes off, flags out, down at midfield, and gets an escort out by Jeffrey Cantar-Arcou in first down yardage. But could this flag be going against Winnipeg?
Probably going to be a hold. Usually when the quarterback scrambles, offensive linemen don't know where he is, and they tend to hold. Zach saw man coverage, very intelligent, took off and just started running. We shall see what this call is.
It was on a 2nd and 5.
There are 2 fouls on the previous play. And holding, Winnipeg, number 69. Illegal contact, Montreal, number 26. We'll repeat 2nd down.
as announced by Justin McKinnisu. 2 penalties that cancel each other out, so we got a 2nd and 5 to run again. Now just 29 seconds on the clock, and looking to, at the very least, get it in the range of the best distance kicker in the CFL currently. And Sergio Castillo has hit from 63. He's hit from 60 a few times. He's also 6 for 7, I believe, or only had 1 miss outside the 50-yard line. So they certainly have a chance to add some points. Claris underneath Oliveira. First down, and puts his head down to get it inside the Montreal 50. So certainly inside the range of Castillo now, but still 23 seconds to go.
Yeah, Zach will call plays at the line of scrimmage right now. Try to get the ball going with a tempo. You can see, again, Montreal trying to show 4-man rush, but drop a lot of people out. Hit Brady underneath.
From the 49, Montreal. Oh, in and out of the hands, turning around there, was Joey Corcoran, who went to high school at Selwyn House in Westmount. He's from Montreal. He later transferred, finished prep school in New Hampshire, went to University of New Hampshire, and nearly had himself a catch there.
Joey was a very good receiver at New Hampshire. Talked to the coaches, UNH, place I coached there for a couple years, and they spoke so highly of him. He had a good combine. He didn't test as well as you would have liked in the CFL combine, but the Bomber coaches love his tenacity. He's able to block around the box, do a lot of things that they want in the run game for Brady Oliveira.
Castillo is ready. 2nd and 10. Claris throwing. Oh, it is caught by Stearns. Beverett had a chance at it. What tremendous concentration by Stearns, who really got hit but hung on to the football. And he is down after a gain of 23 yards.
Work up. Go inside the Will linebacker. As the Will linebacker expands, throw the ball behind it. Nice throw by Zach. Might even been a tip ball right there, but that is what you have, concentration. You throw. Zach throws between the free safety, the halfback, and the Will linebacker. Beautiful throw by Zach to Jared Stearns.
Great throw, and what a catch, too, under those circumstances, Lapo, when defenders are bearing down. And as you saw, that ball is deflected, and he was still able to hang on and certainly paid a price for it as he is still sitting down. The Bombers in much easier field goal range for Castillo now with 11 seconds on the clock. Let's have another look at what Jared Stearns was able to do here and concentrate and hang on to the football.
One of the hardest things to do as a receiver is when the ball is tipped, still get your eyes and find it and be able to still look it into your hands. You can see the eyes right there, tracking it into his hands, and then obviously making the catch while you're getting collisioned. Great play by Jared Stearns.
And it was Arthur Hamlin, the safety for the Alouettes, coming in and applying the hit. There he is, 33. Second receiver injured in this first half for Winnipeg. Nick Dembski as well. Kate, Enoch, and Milton. And they'll have a lot of thoughts on this game coming up. Set up what's next, too, in Week 12. But it's Stearns that's heading off the field now under his own steam, but looks like an upper body issue around the right shoulder area for him, where he took that contact from Arthur Hamlin after a terrific catch.
11 seconds left here. Now as this clock, so you can see running down.
Zach Collaros has passed for over 200 yards in this first half.
Winnipeg.
So the time had ticked down, and a timeout is called, and the kicking team is going to have to come on now. They won't have time to run another play.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have been, if they were going to run a football play, they would have been up on the ball. I don't think Montreal would have done anything besides put a bunch of people in the back of the end zone. It would have helped your field goal. But Osh saw the countdown, called the timeout, get the field goal.
So Jamison Sheehan will put it down at the Alouette 35 for Sergio Castillo, who is 2 for 2, looking to make it a 6-point ball game to head into halftime. Out, down, and kicked. and perfect for Castillo. Those points on the board, not 13-13. It is 16-10 Winnipeg. There we go. A 6-point lead for O'Shea's Blue Bombers. And, you know, good for both offenses, and particularly, though, Zach Collaros and the job he's done in this first half.
And then Montreal's making them run the ball, make them throw those underneath throws. They're not giving them any deep ball shots, and that's okay. Zach just got to manufacture first downs by throwing the check downs and everything. Hey, in Montreal, they're in a good spot here, down by 6 points, right? Brady Oliveira is getting rushing yards. 6 carries, 55 yards, 9.2-yard average. Keep giving it to him. Extra yak yards, screen passes, whatever you need. Keep getting him the ball in the second half.
Solid half for Brady Oliveira, who's standing by with Matthew.
Brady, a lot of hard yards out there. The Owls defense is really forcing you to run down their throats, and you are 11 carries for 101 yards. Take us into the huddle, and how are you guys attacking that defensive line?
Yeah, we know Montreal always has a strong physical D. They're coached up well. It's going to be a dogfight, man. We're facing a lot of adversity. We faced a lot of adversity this year already, so I trust this group, and we got to come out in the second half and really execute and play our brand of football.
In terms of adversity, you could potentially be without 2 key receivers. How much do you put on your shoulders then to go ahead and keep attacking?
Yeah, you know, I talked to the O-line. You know, it's probably going to have to lean on us, but every single week we feel like we can get that done for this group. You know, the offensive line, we have the best offensive line in the league. They're coached well by Marty, and we feel like in any given week we can take this thing over. So if the second half, when we got to do it, we'll do it.
Appreciate you, Brady.
Thank you.
Well, Kate, we got a battle on our hands. Winnipeg up 6.
Matthew, Brady been absolutely fantastic. 101 total yards. He's got 55 on the ground. He's got 46 receiving as well as we bring you back. He said, look at the ground mix.
Beautiful.
I don't understand why we're bringing these in the last game.
Big size helmets,
You know
too.
what? They look incredible. So to all the people working the back right now on this is fantastic. This is the way Thursday night football should be. Now, needless to say, I told you about Brady Oliveira. He's been phenomenal, but so is Zach Collaros. And Milt, you talked about in the pregame here that you needed to see something from this Winnipeg offense. They have been great, and look, a couple of injuries that we hope aren't too serious, but Zach, it starts with him, and he's been great.
And Zach is not an MOP candidate this year, let's be honest, but he can still play at an MOP type level, and that's exactly what he's done in his first half. He's spreading the ball around. We've even seen him move around a little bit. That's something we haven't seen him do in some years. I mean, that comes with age. But if he can play at this level, this team can have an opportunity to get back in the hunt to possibly win the West and make it to the Grey Cup. And Paul LaPolice talked about it. Even more important than Zach is the play of Brady Oliveira. Has to be their guy. This has to be the guy who touches the ball more than anyone on that team besides Zach. But he can do so much because he can do so much with the ball when he gets it in his hand. Once again, Dembski makes a great catch. Let's hope he's healthy for the second half, because this team, struggling-wise, if they don't have Dembski in the game, if they don't have Stearns in the game. But Montreal's not going to feel sorry for him because they've had a bunch of injuries, but it's just part of it. But as I alluded to, when Zach is playing like that, this team can do some great things.
And you know what, on the flip side, James Morgan has been really interesting. I mean, he started off the game very well. I mean, the numbers don't really show much. He's 3 of 7. He's got 51 yards so far. He's got the 1 TD, but he's also got the 1 INT. So with the good came the bad, and then they add a little trickery as well, but they need to get it going in the second half.
Yeah, listen, it comes down to the play calling, right, Kate? The play calling, I feel like Coach Moss has been a little bit conservative with him as well still. I love the diversity in terms of the play calling that we saw at the beginning here. We saw a triple move early on to Hollins down the field, and he was able to execute and also come down with the ball. That was great. Then you see here a fake reverse, and then you throw it back. That's the same play right there. But then down the road, we saw some shovel plays and a lot of different plays that you wouldn't necessarily see all the time. Right here, play action down there to get the touchdown. Executed tremendously. You see the confidence from James Morgan as well. But the mistake that they had here that proved costly down that affected as well the field position right there. You have Pearson coming off of the edge, and it was a triple team on a defensive tackle, and obviously you get there was a lot too much pressure on James Morgan, and he was able to throw the interceptions to Evan Holm again. But again, it's about the play calling, and we want to see where James Morgan is going to be at. He's got to settle down a little bit more, but he's still got a chance. This is only a 6-point game coming out of the half. You got to feel like there's a possibility for them to win the game, because even with the mistakes, they're still in this game.
And you know what I like too? I mean, I like that he's playing homage too here. You know that's for Aaron Rodgers and his Green Bay connection, but we'd like to see a little more of that in the second half. But you're right. We got a great game. It's only 6 points, as you mentioned. Coming up after the break, we will chat the biggest game of the week. That is the Calgary Stampeders and the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
First meeting of the season between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Montreal Alouettes. James Morgan and a deep shot to open up the second possession. It's caught. Oliveira finds room and more. There goes Brady Oliveira to the right. Touchdown. Nick Dembski. Another long reception for Alexander Hollins. Touchdown. What a drive for Tyler Sneed.
Week 12 continues in the CFL with a little Friday night football. Edmonton taking on Ottawa, and then it is a double dip on Saturday. We will be on location in Toronto as the Lions are in town to take on the Argonauts, and it is all wrapping up with the Rough Riders and the Stampeders. Can't wait for that one. The Riders 8-1 for the second time. The last time they were 8-1 to start the season, that's right, 2013, and we all know how that one ended. Their lone loss this season coming against the Stampeders, though. Enoch, what are you watching for?
I want to be watching for the pressure that's going to be coming from that defensive line. Last week, they had 6 sacks from 5 different guys. Everybody on that defensive line was eating and allowed the secondary as well to get 2 interceptions. Tavon Campbell, Roland Milligan, those guys are always prepared. They shut that Hamilton offense, dynamic offense, down completely. So you know they got something for Vernon Adams as well.
I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I'm going to talk defense with you also, Enoch. That Saskatchewan defense has been special. Last couple of games, last 2 games, they haven't given up a touchdown. That's the first time they've done that since 1970. They've been special. They've been averaging beating teams by double digits. So Debo, as we like to call him, Micah Johnson, those boys have been playing, allowing that back end to play well. Yes, Trevor Harris is a story, MOP candidate, having the best year of his career. But that defense, if they play like that, they can do something special. It's not going to be easy because we know what VA and that offense is capable of. So as Kate mentioned, this is going to be a great game, and I'm going to put on my Miltradamus hat and say...
Oh, okay. Is that still a thing? I missed 1 week. I thought that would go away.
It's never going away. It's never going away.
Please tell us, Milt.
I predicted 73 points. Total of 73 points for this game.
I would love that.
And I know we just talked about defense, so you're like, why are you saying that? But, hey, this is some great offensive playing against each other. VA, MOP candidate. Trevor Harris, MOP candidate.
And I love the confidence that this Saskatchewan team is gaining. If you watch the post-game, Trevor Harris was talking about, hey, these Hamilton Tiger Cats wanted to come and play against us. Well,
they dismantled them.
You come to play against us. Welcome to the deep waters. This is going to be a showdown for everyone to watch.
You know what would be great, too? I mean, the ticket sales, too, have been fantastic in Calgary. If you're there, I mean, you've got to go to this game. I mean, this is such an critical game, too, in the season series. By the way, we have some live footage for Straight Fire right now. This happening halftime at Percival Molson Stadium. Look at the QB. Go. Fakes the handoff. He could go all the way.
Big knees up.
I'm being told the Alouettes are signing this quarterback. We will see 97 next.
Change the number and you're good.
It's country night on this Thursday in Montreal at the half with the Alouettes trailing Winnipeg by 6. There's a look at the halftime stats. Well, the dominant offenses belong to Winnipeg. Now, that said, there were 2 big passing plays by the Alouettes. One thrown by James Morgan. The other thrown by Tyler Sneed later capped off that drive from Morgan and the touchdown. Here's Sneed with Matthew.
So, Tyler, take me through inside your helmet. When you know you're going to have to make a pass to kind of help your offense out, is it nerves? Is it excitement? What is it?
Excitement. I get excited when they let me go out there and throw the ball. You know, it's just something that I've kind of always done throughout my career, and I'm glad they got plays in that allowed me to go out there and do it.
In terms of that, everyone's going to have to contribute tonight to help James Morgan. What was the message in the locker room knowing that has to continue in the second half?
Just focus each play and every play, and then come out here and do what we know how to do. And I think it'll put us ourselves in a good position to win.
Appreciate this. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Tyler Sneed had that chance, by the way, in college at East Carolina. He was 4 for 6 throwing passes, 137 and 3 touchdowns, no picks. So not the first time. Threw that deep ball to Hollins in the first half. Second half begins. It is Travis Tice, Alouette football. A little somersault after he is tripped up on that tackle by Winnipeg. James Morgan, 3 for 7, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 1 picked off, 2 throwing from his end zone, Lapo, just as he was being hit.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's I think he had a good position. He knew where he was going to throw the football. He just got hit as he was going off. They're in this football game. It's 16-10. You're at home. Continue to run the football. Give him some easy throws. Get the ball to your playmakers and just keep playing good defense like Montreal has. They're forcing. I know the Bombers are staying on the field. They've done a good job staying on the field, but you're in this game. You got a half of football. Go keep executing.
It's Davis Alexander, their #1 quarterback, who was injured several weeks ago, standing beside Jason Haas. So throwing on that hitch, it is Cole Speaker. He has a catch. He gets it up to the Alouette 32. Speaker getting involved now, and a second down coming up.
And that's what you're talking about. Get the ball in your hands, your playmakers on 1st and 10. The quarterback doesn't have to read anything on this route. He can just throw to the softness of the defense. Get a couple blocks on the perimeter. Put yourself in 2nd and short for a good run game.
Alouettes' second leading receiver, Cole Speaker, with his first catch for 8 yards. It's a 2nd and 2 now. Starting the second half here in Montreal. 16-10, Bombers lead. On the ground, it's Tice. Needs 2 yards for the first down, and he gets awfully close to that. Works his way up close to the 34.
This is probably the 3rd time you've seen Montreal in a position where they're in a 2nd and 1 to 2 yards. So that's good production for a young quarterback. That's good calls by Jason to make sure that, hey, we're not putting our quarterback in a 2nd and 7 to 10, 2nd and extra situation. Allow him to stay ahead of the sticks.
And it is not enough for a first down. We get a 3rd and short coming up. A couple of feet away. Some heavy artillery coming in now for the Alouettes. Dylan Wynn coming in there with Jesse Gibbon. It's Morgan on short yardage, and he does advance. Reddick Cramby trying to haul him back, but if they go by furthest advancement had to get to the 34, that should be enough for a first down.
Little lunge at the end, I think, got it. Big 240-pound guy. Just keep moving your feet. Going right at Jamar McGloster for the first.
It is just across the 34, just shy of the 35. 1st and 10 now for James Morgan and the Alouettes. Morgan from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We talked about that in the first half. His first CFL start. He came off the bench in the first quarter last week in Vancouver when Caleb Evans, the 3rd stringer, got injured. Ended up 20 of 33 for 211 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Throwing here, open receiver 2, it's Alexander Hollins. This is his 4th game as a member of the Alouettes and easily his best. Had a 45-yard reception from Morgan in the first half and later a 44-yarder from Snead.
That's what you're trying to get from a little route concept. This is called the bite route, where you're going to start to run a corner route and then come back to the quarterback. James Morgan uses his big arm, throws it on the perimeter. This is a really good throw. And you think about James Morgan, let's talk about this. Like, the hardest part for a young quarterback is they never get any reps. So, it's hard to make these throws when you hardly ever get opportunities to throw the football. You only simulate the passes over the course of practice. Really good by him making that play.
Okay, and that's Tice on the carry and the first down. That had been a pickup of 21, by the way, for Hollins, who's over 100 on the game, and we've got a second down coming up here after that carry by Travis Tice.
And all the quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League, most coaches are going to have their backup quarterback stand behind the starting quarterback in practice, and they're going to simulate their feet, their eyes when you do all the plays during practice. You see Davis Alexander's probably doing that now in practice, but that is not game speed. You're back there, you're not getting a pass rush. So for young quarterbacks to execute high-level plays, what they need to do.
Here's Morgan now, and throwing and completing it to Tice. He breaks free. What a great second effort by Travis Tice to pick up the Alouettes' first down.
I talked about this guy being one of the best make-you-miss players in the Canadian Football League since his first preseason game. Effort plays. I am not going to go down. You are not going to tackle me. I'm going to run and take care of business.
We got short yardage now in that pickup. Not a first down. He got awfully close, breaking that tackle from Kyrie Wilson. Travis Tice, no quit in his game. 3rd and 1 at the Winnipeg 46 now.
Looks like replay center has moved the spot of the ball. It'll be first down, Montreal.
Well, I was right the first time, calling it a first down. I was wondering about
The
that.
replay center was with you. So the replay center is going to take a look at this. Before the plays run, they're going to make sure, hey, no, actually, they're going to help the officials on the field and tell you where the ball was located, as it's hard to realize where the spot was. They found the reach, and they said it was first.
Well, he was reaching about the same time his left foot did go out of bounds, but bottom line, at the 45, it is a first down for the Alouettes now. Morgan quickly and knocked down. Gee, I wonder who that was. When you got number 5 in the vicinity, how many times has Willie Jefferson done that?
You have to have an answer for Willie Jefferson when you're throwing the ball, what's called quick game, early out. You have to engage right now. Either you're going to cut him or you're to get his hands down. Cut means diving at his legs, or you've got to put your hands on, because he is going to see that. He's going to see the quarterback getting ready to throw, and he's going to throw his big paws up and knock that ball.
Another knockdown for the great Willie Jefferson. Morgan has time. Looking to the left and going down and catching it right at the 30. That is Hollins again. Having himself a night. Another first down here for the Alouettes. 15 more yards for number 15.
Those two guys right there, let's go ahead and watch what they do as you release it. He's going to go up, and it's a one-on-one situation. I'm going to run up, and then I'm going to run to the sideline on the comeback. Nice throw and catch. Hollins is being the favorite receiver, James Morgan, tonight.
I'll say 125 yards receiving, and no other receivers in double digits for the Alouettes. And he couldn't catch that one, though. And another one of those quick ones to the right, and he reached back for it, but couldn't come down with it. Second down and 10.
Quick screen pass to get out there. But, I get back to this. This is probably the third time I say it, is simple throws. We have not thrown the ball over them. There's only one throw over the middle of the field this whole game. It's always on the perimeter, on the one-on-ones, on the corners for James Morgan, utilizing the strength of his arm and just trying to make easy pictures for James Morgan from Jason Moss.
10th play of the drive. Alouettes have something going now. Down to the 30 of Winnipeg. Early here in this second half. Morgan took his time. It was in behind Tice, though. And a third down now coming up. And it looks like Maltos Diaz will be coming on to see if they can chip into this Winnipeg lead.
Nice drive here. Putting yourself in field goal range. A little bit of zone from the Bombers. Trying to hit the ball in the deep middle. Can't find it. Goes to his check down. Just misses Tice.
Maltos Diaz. 1 for 1 from 13. Perfect again. 2 for 2. The Alouettes with 3 more on the board. 3-point ball game. Winnipeg still leading. Bomber football, but they're missing some key players now. Nick Dembski's night is done. He will not be back, we are told. It looked like an upper body head injury in the first half, and Jarrett Stearns made a great catch as a right shoulder injury after the hit he took, and there is Stearns, and his night is done as well. So 2 keys for Zach Collaros and the Winnipeg offense are done for the evening. Bomber football still with a 3-point lead. The toss inside there to Peyton Logan. Will be using him more in his debut with Winnipeg. After being hurt in training camp, finally gets to put on the Bomber blue and gold and has himself that pickup on first down.
This is a misdirection play. You pull 2 offensive linemen to get everybody's eyes distracted this way, but then you bring the receiver on the other side, Peyton Logan. This is a misdirection run. Flip it to him. Brady Oliveras to block. Again, this is just a punt return. Just get your return of the ball in space. Good design for a guy you're going to have to get some touches as this game goes on.
Had some time at running back with Calgary, primarily a kick returner with the Stampeders. Then coming over to Winnipeg in free agency. So up at the 45, Collaros. Second down, flag out. Under pressure, and down he goes. He is wrapped up by the CFL's sacks leader, Isaac Adeyemi Berglund, picking up his 8th sack of the season. As mentioned, the flags coming out before Collaros was taken down.
I think Joey Corcoran was offside, so this is probably going to be declined here. It's a little bit off on the cadence. Berglund on the rush on the perimeter. Gets a good speed rush.
Offside.
Runs by Randolph.
Winnipeg, number 81. Penalties declined. Third down.
Zach can't find any place to throw. He holds the ball. Once he starts holding the ball, pass rush is going to get home.
Sean Lemon got his first shot in there. And then Isaac Adiemi Berglund finished it off on the sack of Calera. So Jamison Sheehan, that is 25. Travis Tice back for the return. Last possession, the Alouettes cut into the lead with a field goal, and they're getting the ball back. Tice now, and he is tackled there by Michael Ayers around the 30. Adiemi Berglund, runner-up to Brady Oliveira for top Canadian last year. CFL sacks leader. James Morgan pretty much masked his first half stats on that opening drive here in the second half. He was 4 for 7 for 52 yards, leading him down for a field goal.
50% completion, 103 yards, 1 TD. Like I said, the interception I don't think is his fault. Keep running the ball, keep giving him easy throws. You're in the football game, you get a great chance to win. Winnipeg's on the road, not an easy place to win in Montreal.
And he's throwing here on first down and completing it as well. Tyler Sneed with a good night continues. He had a touchdown catch after throwing a big pass in the first half. Has a gain of 18.
He's going to break in and then wrap right behind the linebacker. On this dig, ball's thrown inside. He has to leave his feet to make the catch. This is great concentration. Brings the ball to his body. Has great control of it for the completion. A lot of trust between James Morgan and Tyler Sneed.
Stevie Scott is a running back for the Alouettes. Morgan just throws it away. He faked to Scott. He went back, and Bombers had a man in his face and just chose to get rid of it.
Good intelligence as he boots to the wide side of the field, and the free end is there. Throws it right at Scott's feet. Behind the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a penalty unless there's a receiver there or a running back. The running back's right there. So you want to be in 2nd and 10, not 2nd and 15. Smart play by James Morgan.
8 for 16, so 50%, but his play has been eating up now. 121 yards passing, and has looked better here in the second half. A little more comfortable his first CFL start. Off to the right, and it is caught, but out of bounds, and it is waved off. Charleston Rambo, no catch. Caught the football, but the feet were out when he landed.
Rambo trying his best to keep this inbounds, just a little bit outside on the sideline. Okay, he makes the catch, but his left foot is out of bounds. Good stop by the Bombers trying to get the ball back.
Now that ball is at the 48 of the Alouettes. There's Trey Vavel, one of the top returners in his first year in the CFL. Most notably, a few weeks ago in Winnipeg against the Argos when he had a couple of returns for touchdowns. Joseph Zima to punt it away for Montreal. Good booming punt. Chasing Vavel back inside his 10. Coverage there by Richards. Got a hand on him. And then he gets some help. Tyrese Beverett too. 54-yard punt. Excellent coverage down the field by Richards. And the Alouettes, Winnipeg football, deep in their zone with a 3-point lead in the third quarter. Friday night football tomorrow night. TD plays in Ottawa. Edmonton Elks coming off their second straight win against their former player, Gino Lewis. The Ottawa Red Blacks, who lost their quarterback, Drew Brown, and Dustin Crum came in that narrow loss against the Bombers after they came back to tie it late in Winnipeg. Edmonton and Ottawa. Friday night football tomorrow. First down here, Winnipeg. Brady Oliveira, left side, running well. That much more important with Nick Dembski and Jarrett Stearns injured and out of this ball game. Another good pickup by number 20.
Tailback's got to be patient. He has great patience. Tries to go inside. As the ends lose contain, he bounces it outside for the big 10-yard gain, get the first down. So you can see him being patient on the inside, and he recognizes that the end is not playing contain anymore. Canton Arcu, so he bounces it outside for the 10-yard gain.
Just across the 30 now. 16-13 Bomber lead with the ball. Trying to get the offense going the way they had done so well in the first half. Despite the changes in the receiving corps. Back in the ground, Oliveira just finds a way, weaves his way along after things were stuffed up when he first touched the ball, but a flag does come out. See what this penalty's about, and that carry by Oliveira.
I think the penalty's going to be here.
Number 65. It's a 10-yard penalty. Will repeat first down.
Tui Elite as he comes across and basically tackles by the neck of the defensive end. Can't do that. The extra offensive lineman in playing fullback as he comes across. Sometimes it's harder. Some of those, when you put those old linemen in, you want them to block Rod. You want them to play fullback. They just don't have as many reps of that, but he should. No different than this. He's a guard pulling out a guy and kicking him out. He's just got to get his hands inside. That's what I was just telling him right now.
The backup quarterback, Chris Grevler, is in this game. You see 17 going out to the left for Colaros here on a 1st and 20 now. And it is caught by Strebler, but the whistle blows. A flag had come out in the Bomber backfield.
Yeah, there's a reason Chris Streffler is one of the most liked guys in the building in Winnipeg. This is a guy who can do many of things. When I was fortunate enough to work with him, I used to use him on speed sweeps. He'd be in the game. We'd go to Wildcat and hand him the football.
Remember, they had the Grey Cup in 2019, the way you used them both.
He was one of the fastest guys. And, certainly now you can see Stanley Bryant right here thinking the defensive line moved off sides.
Offside, Montreal, number 91. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
So good call by Stanley, stepping back when he felt Demi Berglund back into the neutral zone. But back to Strebler. I fully expect him to finish the game as a receiver for this football team. He can go in, he's fast, he can catch the ball. He was, there were times when his college career teams wanted to move his position from quarterback to other spots. You've got a really good athlete that you can put in at times if you want to get some touches.
He stays in the slot. Mentioned no Nick Dembski, no Garrett Stearns. Stuffing it out for Oliveira. One hand brings it down. That was a high pass, but good work by Oliveira to pick it up and get some of that penalty yardage back on that first down. Well, they already did with a penalty, and then that was a 1st and 5. He got about 3 or 4 yards of that. 2nd and long coming up.
Yeah, Claris gets hit here, trying to find some downfield throws. He gets moved outside because Big Oakman's on his way in to make a play on him. Great catch by Brady. Concentration, finding the ball in the air, and still making people miss. Now the Bombers, they're 10 of 15 on 2nd down conversion, 67%. That's excellent versus this really good defense in Montreal. It's tough to overcome this 2nd and 12 here.
There we go, 2nd down. And short underneath again. Oliveira, let him do the rest. Puts his head down. Gets it up across the 35, but nowhere near enough for a first down. 3rd down coming up, and Winnipeg will have to punt.
A lot of these checkdowns, but the one thing the Bombers aren't doing is the Bombers aren't turning it over. The most giveaways in the Canadian Football League this season, with 28 of them. Continuing to get checkdowns, do what they can, keep playing defense, make sure they finish every drive with a kick out.
They're +1 in turnovers tonight. The only turnover, an interception by Evan Holm off James Morgan, throwing it from his end zone in the first half. Jamison Sheehan on. Travis Tice, the returner again, the lone one back for the Alouettes. Getting it back late 3rd quarter now, under 3 minutes to go. And just a field goal difference between these two teams in their first meeting of the season. Tice on the move to the right, picks it up, and gets up around the 40. Late flag coming out on that return by Travis Tice. Middle linebacker Tony Jones of the Bombers. It's not easy taking over from a future Hall of Famer and Adam Bighill. Matthew Shinetti will have his story coming up.
Welcome back to Montreal as we near the end of the third quarter, and Tony Jones is now going to be inside the middle of Winnipeg's defense. It was so interesting this week. He was extolling all of the advice that he got from Adam Bighill. Adam Bighill is no longer a Bomber. This is Tony Jones' defense now. And speaking to defensive coordinator Jordan Younger, as I was before the game, he talked about Jones playing with his hair on fire. This constant sense that he wants to get to the ball first and go ahead and attack every single gap. And Younger said maybe cerebrally that puts a lot on the Will and the Sam linebacker beside him. But the one thing Younger said to Jones before he really got this job was, you can't go ahead and worry about all the details. Play as we trust you. A lot of teams are going to have a lot of tape on you. We're not expecting you to win a football game on your own. We're expecting all the effort, and that's what the Bombers are getting, Rod.
He had a lot of praise for Adam Bighill, Matthew, but yeah, it can't be easy trying to fill his shoes. And doing so admirably this season. Their leading tackler, you see, not much there for Travis Tice, the ball carrier, but for Jones, 6 tackles tonight. He had 11 last week, Lapo, and yeah, coming over after being let go by the Edmonton Elks last year.
Well, he had no better training. Spending 3 years with Adam Bighill in Winnipeg myself, you would walk by the meeting room, and it's not always the coaches talking. You hear Adam Bighill speaking to the defense. So he had a great person. He spoke highly about it. I tried to pick his brain as much as I could. But Adam Bighill is a coach on the field. He's a coach in the meeting rooms. So to have a guy, a Hall of Famer, who loves to teach and communicate, has helped his game.
2nd and 7 now after the 3-yard gain by Tice. Morgan is throwing, and it's complete too. Favorite target. That's Sneed. Another catch for Tyler Sneed. You say favorite target. Alex Hollins has really carried the load tonight, but Sneed coming up with his 4th catch.
Nice protection. He's able to take his drop. Just find Sneed on the curl route coming back to the ball. For the first down, you can just see the arm strength of James and the understanding where he's going with that football. There is no hesitation where he's going with the football.
Sneed has their touchdown. Mentioned Hollins, number 15, has 125 yards receiving. Here's play action pass coming up here from Morgan. Another shot over the middle intended there for Cole Speaker, who was hit right away. Cam Allen in there and hits him, and it comes out. That's incomplete. 2nd down.
Cam Allen's the reason this is an incomplete pass. The deep crossing route. Allen's there right as the ball gets there, and he's able to deliver a blow. You can see his right hand knocks his ball down. So great play from him, coming from a free safety spot downhill to make a play on the football.
In his first year at Purdue, Cam Allen, part of that Bomber secondary. That they've had some key injuries there too. They've had to make some changes. Here's Morgan again, going to the right this time, and on that out, the closest receiver is Hollins, and it falls incomplete. It's 3rd down coming up.
Tough throw to the wide side of the field. Trying to figure out where it was. Didn't have a good angle. Pretty good protection, just misses the throw to the wide side of the field. Yeah, he has good understanding, or maybe there's a miscommunication between him and the receiver. Knew it right away.
The new returner for the Bombers, Peyton Logan, is back this time. We've seen Vavel earlier as well. But it's Logan in his debut for Winnipeg for Joseph Zima's punt. A lot of this from Calgary as he comes in, he takes it, and he's immediately pushed back. Greeted there by another one of the special teams tackles leaders, and the veteran Alexander Gagne. Make sure he goes no further.
Well, both Tyrell and Alexander are leading the CFL in special teams tackles. I've said before, well, Alexander doesn't want Tyrell to get ahead of him. This is a great rundown, make the tackle. 15 special teams tackles to start this game, tied for first in the CFL with his teammate.
By the way, you saw Peyton Logan and wearing number 4, a funny sight when you talk about Adam Bighill all those years wearing that jersey number with Winnipeg. There's Byron Archibald, the special teams coordinator.
Returning punts today. He catches punts from the punter. That's how he says he warms up when I talked to him before the game. Catching punts. Did a pretty good job for, I guess he was a linebacker back in the day.
He was. third quarter, another good run by Brady Oliveira, getting it up to the 45. A gain of 16 for Oliveira has really been running hard tonight. At a time when they certainly do need him to, with the injuries to the receiving corps, trying to hang on to their lead. They do, but the Alouettes got it closer. Only 3 points in that third. 16-13, heading to the final 15. We got a tight ball game, only 3 points scored by the Alouettes, who actually took over in the time of possession in the second half so far, Lapo.
Travis Tice, running back from Montreal, has only got 32 yards, so I think that's a real positive for the Bombers. Hey, we're going to make sure we stop the run with a young quarterback, force him to throw the football. I think they've done a good job of that. And once again, the Bombers, 60% conversion against a very good defense. They're doing stuff.
No face paint.
No face paint.
You clean up well. I guess we both do. I didn't put as much. Actually, my cheeks look really red now.
There's still a little black right there.
Just rub it off.
More makeup. Where's your makeup, bro?
Yeah, there you go. Well, but you know what? You are the warrior of the weekend because you're going to Ottawa, and then you're with me in Toronto. You got 3 games this weekend.
3 games this weekend,
nights,
yes,
so
thanks to...
Get that face paint back on. Winnipeg starts the fourth with a 3-point lead. Here's Oliveira again, finding some room and chugging along up near midfield. 9 more yards. What a night on the ground that Brady Oliveira has been having.
Look at those guys.
You know what? I don't mind.
Those aren't pillows.
That's right. I don't mind taking on the John Candy role there. He's one of my favorites and a former, owner of the Toronto Argonauts before he sadly passed away. That's beautiful. So, yeah, that's it's a busy weekend. Not a holiday weekend, but a busy one for you. That holiday is coming up next week. We have Labor Day. Me and Lapo. Planes, trains. You know what? I took the train here.
You did? And I did. And I drove here?
You drove. So we were missing the plane part of this, which we normally have.
I'll do that on Saturday morning.
There you go. So second and short. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Terry Wilson was on, and they do have the first down. Winnipeg does. Right at midfield now. Trying to improve to 6-4. In that ultra-competitive West, what a big one coming up on Saturday, too. And you got Saskatchewan at 8-1, taking on the 6-3 Calgary Stampeders. The only game Saskatchewan lost this season was to Calgary. And if Winnipeg can hang on for the win, regardless, next week is the Labor Day Classic in Regina, followed by the Banjo Bowl. Big back-to-back games of the Bombers and the Riders next couple of weeks. That one's complete to Dylan Mitchell. Tackled there by Hamlin. Mitchell was recently added to the receiving core of the Bombers. He'd been a healthy scratch for the first 6 weeks.
Watch him chase across the field. This is harder than it looks. He knows it's going to be, the ball's going to go across, going to be thrown or handed off, thrown on the outside. Runs it down, makes the play for a negative yard. Well, gain of 1. So really good stop by Hamlin, chasing across the field.
This is the 4th game in for Dylan Mitchell, who had been with the Edmonton Elks, signed on in the offseason, and finally playing for the Bombers in his first touch of the night. Just a 3-man rush. Setting up a screen to Oliveira. Tries to turn it up and coming back and pushing him and knocking him down, although forward was Sean Lemon. Ends up being another good gain by Oliveira and close to another Winnipeg first down.
Very close to giving them a short yardage play. You got to be patient on these tailback screens. A 2 count, tell the tailback, wait for 2 count, then follow your lineman. You're going to have a kick-out player. There's Kolanowski. It's a kick-out, and then you get north-south right off that kickoff. Put them in a short yardage situation. And very interesting thing here, Terry Wilson doing these quarterback sneaks because Streveler's playing wide receiver right now. So very, very interesting to see Streveler's out there in all their 5 receiver packages. The versatility's excellent for Chris Streveler. You see Terry Wilson here.
Interesting use of the quarterbacks by the offensive coordinator, Jason Hogan. Left side and more. Wilson. Well, he fools the Alouettes. Instead of firing it straight up, he goes way left. And Tyrese Beverette ends ends up chasing him down, but 16 yards in that short yardage play for Terry Wilson.
This is why you have all these extra players here, because sometimes you have an off-tackle wedge, but if you can see that there's nobody there, you have the ability to bounce it outside. That's why everybody started playing with everybody condensed inside, because you have athletic quarterbacks who can flip the field and go on the outside. That was a Chris Streveler thing all the time. He had speed, get around. Wilson taken right out of his playbook. Jason Hogan, good scheme there.
Down to the 30 of the Alouettes. 3-point lead. Bombers in scoring position again. Zach Collaros, 24 of 27 on the night. Taking the handoff. Pressure coming. Wesley Sutton nearly got to him as Collaros ends up throwing it away. Closest receiver was Kevin's Clarcius, but incomplete second down.
Sometimes I think if you watch here, you're trying to see what this end's going to do. So Zach's trying to read it. Is this a handoff? You know, I don't know if he's going to have a lot of time here. You got Sutton chasing you down from the backside. Sean Lemon kind of playing wide enough that he could have handed that football off. And then Sutton chases him down. Good throwaway by him. Zach Larson.
See Streveler going out wide to the right. The backup quarterback used as a receiver at this point with the injuries they have. Second down quickly. Caught, and it's Mitchell. Has the catch and has the first down too, as he gets it down to around the 10 for Winnipeg.
He'll be on the outcut with a clear out, but watch this. Pressure off the edge. Brady Oliver picks it up. Mitchell's out in the flat. That shows up because Brady makes the block. Zach trusts the block is going to be made on the perimeter, because like I said, this Montreal team's bringing pressure from all different spots. Brady makes the protection. Zach trusts it, throws it out to Mitchell, but there's nobody there because there's zone blitzing.
Just his second catch of the night, a much bigger one than that previous one this drive that only went for a yard. It's inside the 10. It's a first and goal Winnipeg.
Mitchell had 5 catches coming into this game, only 29 yards in 2 games he's been on the roster.
Oliveira inside the 5, down to the 2. Brady Oliveira keeps racking up the yardage. 7 more for Oliveira as they are very close to second and goal coming up.
This is a quarterback, not a fullback. Watch him come across and be the backside edge blocker as he goes across and blocks Sean Lemon, keeps his feet and going. So great by Streveler coming across. They're utilizing him in any way, shape, or form. Shows the versatility of Streveler.
Something the Bombers have had back, as I say, starting when you were there. He went away to the NFL for a while, coming back, but you don't often see a team able to use their backup quarterback that way. Chris Streveler blocking for Oliveira. And here we go, a second and goal. They're down close, down at the Alouette 3. Up by 3. Oliveira again, takes a hit, keeps his feet, drives into the end zone for the Winnipeg touchdown. Great second effort for a running back that would not be denied. Brady Oliveira, touchdown Bombers, 2-score game.
We talked about Travis Tice making people miss, breaking tackles. Brady Oliveira is very good at it too. He's got second effort here. Bumps in right at the start. 2 people trying to get a touch of him. Can't get a piece of him. Keeps his leg drive. Keeps the low center of gravity. In for the touchdown.
That was Dylan Wynn that got in and had stopped him, but he bounced off that. He kept going. And now, by the way, Oliveira's over 100 yards rushing. He's at 102. And with that, his second rushing touchdown of the season. He got his first one just last week against Ottawa. Back-to-back games with a touchdown, and a big one here with the point after from Castillo to make it Winnipeg 23, Montreal 13. They've opened up a 10-point lead, an impressive drive down the field, number 20. Had a lot of say in that, capping it off. Spiked by Patrick Neufeld.
Ten plays, 81 yards, 6 minutes off the clock. Brady Oliveira on the screen pass, extra yardage getting in. Chris Streveler getting in, blocking the backside end. Let's go. Let's go play football on the inside. Davis Alexander loves it. Seeing a quarterback doing extra work. Brady making people miss. Low center of gravity, bouncing off guys for the touchdown. Great effort play by Brady Oliveira. Great drive by the Winnipeg offense.
It's like Alexander saying, this is what quarterbacks are expected to do now. Multi-purpose for Chris Strebler. And Travis Tice nowhere to run that time, right at the 25. And the Alouettes in a bigger hole now, down 10 points, approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. Here comes James Morgan, 9 of 20 for 132. And the touchdown pass, 1 intercepted.
Easy opportunity just to get, all you need here is you got to get a drive going with at least 3 points here. There's plenty of time left to get 10 points on the game. Don't have to do anything crazy here. Just get a drive going, get a couple first downs, put yourself in field goal range.
Well, they have had a couple of big plays to Alex Hollins. He threw one 45-yarder back in the first quarter. Travis Sneed also threw one to Hollins. A touchdown drive, and bouncing off is Sneed. Bounced off the would-be defender there, and he picks up another couple of yards on that first down play.
3 steps, quarterback's friend. The outside receiver comes in immediately. Usually the field corner, the widest corner to the wide side of the field, plays with a lot of depth. It gives you that throw for a 7-yard gain. Nice catch by Sneed before Holm delivers a blow.
2nd and 3. James Morgan with time. Throws it, completes it to Charleston Rambo. And after the catch, Rambo works it up close to the Alouette 50 and a first down, Montreal.
A little bit of a pick play. He's going to come across the field. Quarterback's looking over on this side, and then that's the guy on the other side. So as you look, he's looking to his left, can't find it, and then all of a sudden the next player in your progression shows up. Quickly by James Morgan. Good job looking at that picture.
Yeah, and they work quickly there. He throws it. It's a little low on Sneed on that play. So
trying to go tempo, I guess, to give him quick, easy pictures. Puts them in a 2nd and long. They haven't had a lot of 2nd and longs in this game. They've called a good game to keep him management down in distances.
The 4th quarterback to be used by the Alouettes this season after injuries to Davis Alexander, to McLeod Bethel-Thompson, and then just last week to Caleb Evans, who was getting his first start. Morgan came on. Morgan gets his first start. He completes that one to Cole Speaker near midfield. Not enough for a first down. We get a 3rd down coming up here for the Alouettes after they pick up 6 yards.
6-yard gain on 2nd and 10. Keeps everybody in front of you. Try to get yourself to a 3rd and medium.
Well, 3rd and medium, maybe 4 yards. The offense has stayed on the field. Morgan is still there. So it looks like they're thinking of going for this here at midfield.
It's either a hard count where they're trying to get him to jump off sides.
Yeah, well, the distance is right.
Go for it.
Because they only need 4 yards. But no, they snap the ball. It's knocked away at the line of scrimmage. And the Alouettes have turned over the ball for the 2nd time in this game. A turnover on downs. Willie Jefferson getting in the Alouettes business again there as he gets those hands up. So they went for it on 3rd down. Jefferson denies them. Winnipeg football in good shape with a 10-point lead. 6:03 on the clock.
Happy birthday, Grandma. Happy birthday.
Willie Jefferson, his 11th CFL season. Countless times he has knocked it down. He's done it twice tonight, Lapo, including that one that forced a turnover on down.
Somebody you have to have a game plan for every time you play him. He's not as much of a fierce pass rusher anymore, but he is the most pass knockdown in CFL history, getting close to that. And obviously those are 2 defensive backs, Eddie Davis, Adrian Smith. So it's a defensive lineman, the most as a defensive lineman in history.
Adrian Smith, Keandre's dad, by the way. Very good career with the Argos. With Willie Jefferson, talking about a great career. 17th time in his career with multiple knockdowns in a game. Started with Edmonton, won a Grey Cup 10 years ago with Edmonton. Moved to Saskatchewan and had some great years, flourishing with Winnipeg. speaking of flourishing on the night, already over 100 on the ground is Brady Oliveira. His 20th touch of the night, and they're letting him put in the work in this one as he's their leading receiver as well. 9 catches, 65 yards.
A lot of credit's got to go to Zach Collaros, who just understands I don't have any of the throws downfield. I'm going to keep getting my check downs. And when you throw it to Brady Oliveira, he's going to make people miss. Forces this 2nd and 2 situation. You see Osh right there telling, hey, we're doing a good job. Keep running the ball. Keep controlling the clock. Don't force any bad scenarios.
It's a 2nd down and short, so Strebler has been playing slot back. In at quarterback. Motion Peyton Logan. And now it's like they're switching things up now. As Strebler heads towards the sideline and Collaros coming back in. Flag coming up.
I'm not sure if they got a timeout in time. It looks like it was a time count. Clock was at 0 when I looked up. They're trying to do a multiple play where they're moving people in motion, trying to get them to jump. And I think they ran out of time. You can see them trying to get a play. They're trying to fake. That first movement was a fake, and then they're trying to get back to run.
Time count violation. Winnipeg, number 17. It's 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
So not enough time to be able to fake the play and then try to get to your next play, their 2nd tempo play. Difficult penalty to take.
So the quarterback goes back to slot back, and Collaros comes back on. Strebler, by the way, has started 2 games for the Bombers at QB this year and won them both. The opener for them in Week 2 against BC, and then a few weeks ago in the rematch against the Argos.
Well, when I first came into the Canadian Football League, you weren't allowed to do this. Your quarterback couldn't go into the game as a receiver because people could load rosters with receivers at quarterback spots.
2nd down play caught by Clercius. Big Kevin's Clercius, and just goes and collides in with Lorenzo Burns there. Big target is the Canadian, the Montreal kid Clercius, gets close to a 1st down.
Nice throw out on the sideline. Good shoulder, pad level down. Makes a good hit on Lorenzo Burns. Forces the other QB sneak situation again.
So Terry Wilson comes back in. Strebler normally handles the short yardage, but with them taking on a different role on the offense with the injuries to their receiving core. And Nick Dembski, Jareth Stearns gone for the night, hurt in the first half. It's Wilson handling the short yardage. He had a big game before and another nice one as he goes right side and knifes his way down to the 40. 5-yard pickup easily. Getting his last one, he went for 16. On a short yardage play.
I like the eye candy. Couple of receivers running to the left, making you think the ball's going to go over to the left-hand side of the defense, but Wilson just jumps to the right for a big gain for the 1st down. Easy yardage.
Well, was Strebler hurt last year late in the season? He became the number 2 behind Collaros, and when Zach had suffered that finger injury during the Grey Cup against the Argos, Wilson had come on and played a bit in the 2nd half before Collaros came back in.
You see they're breaking the huddle with 9 seconds left, so they're going to snap all these balls. They're going to snap it at 2 to 3 seconds, try to take as much time off the clock.
That they do, handing it off to number 20 again. Oliveira's busy night continues as he gets it down to the 35. He is their leading rusher. He is their leading receiver by far as well, Brady Oliveira, last year's most outstanding player in the CFL.
Montreal calling the timeout, trying to conserve as much time as you can because they know Winnipeg is in their turtle situation where they're going to go as slow as they can and run as much time off the clock.
Educating me again on all the football vernacular that you
jargon.
Haven't heard you talk about shark and whale blitzes as much in the past.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of people said this should be an easy blowout. Montreal's playing their 4th quarterback. You got the Winnipeg Blue Bombers coming to town. I tell you what, it is hard to win football games no matter what quarterback's playing. You talk about Montreal defensively. These guys are going to be ready to play. When we asked Mike O'Shea, hey, you're facing a 4th-string quarterback, he didn't think about that in any way, shape, or form. He said Jason Moss and his crew will be ready to play. That defense Noel Thorpe runs, they are a physical unit. So we've got to make sure we play our game.
Claris handing off to Oliveira, who's easily having his best game rushing of the season. Had not gone over 100, wasn't close to it in any of the previous games. This is more the Oliveira that we have come to know in the last few years when he has led the Canadian Football League in rushing.
And against one of the best run defenses in Canadian Football League. Coming into this game, the Alouettes are second in the CFL.
13 carries, 110 yards, 3-minute warning. And the Bombers are in charge here in Montreal, leading by 10.
Toyota Tundra is the new definition of grit.
3 minutes to go, and the Alouettes trail by 10, and the Bombers threat with Sergio Castillo 3 for 3 on the night, 27 of 30 on the season. His longest so far tonight, 35. This would be his longest attempt of the evening at 41, which still seems like a chip shot for the way he's been putting them through. Had that one miss that led to a touchdown for the Red Blacks last week from 57 out. Made up for that with the winning field goal. He's had one from 63. He's hit him from 60. 41 away to make it a 13-point game. Sergio Castillo does just that. Bombers in good shape in these final minutes, looking to improve to 6-4.
Just over 2.5 minutes to go here in Montreal. The Owls are down 13, but you wouldn't know it with the energy that starting quarterback Davis Alexander has been showing. And I say starting quarterback because even though James Morgan is out there, it really is Davis Alexander's team. And he has been with Morgan, talking to him after every single series, with the defense, with the special teams. I've been kind of pacing up and down with him. And even though he's got that compression sleeve on his left leg, he is moving quite energized out there, guys. He did throw some pregame, and speaking to Alexander, he says at this point, expect to return in September. Rob?
And Matthew, you can just tell that youthful energy. He just can't wait to get back into the game. 8-0 as a starter, by the way, tying that record of Danny McManus for best starts for a quarterback in CFL history. And when he does get in again, he'll have a chance to stand alone, looking for his 9th straight to start. But James Morgan, having a memorable first CFL start, wishes it could be better than this right now, I am sure, with them trailing by 13 points. 12 of 25 for 160 yards for the native of Green Bay.
One of the most important things, Rod, is the success of a team is the quarterback room. It's the starting quarterback all the way down to the fourth string quarterback, that they have a great relationship. They help each other. They grow and put themselves in a position where they're teachers of each other.
Morgan to the right, underneath, and Snead with it, and trying to fight his way up with Dexter Lawson Jr.
And for people who don't really understand, like, when you start a day, see the number 3 receiver here making the catch. When you start the day every morning, there's usually an hour quarterback meeting. So the quarterbacks are an hour before. They're going to be in the building before, but they're going to have a meeting, just quarterbacks, quarterback coach, head coach, offensive coordinator. And those are some of the best meetings that I miss in the Canadian Football League, working with quarterbacks.
It's a nice catch by Travis Tice-Lapo as he got a little turned around, reaches back.
And in those rooms right now, you've got Jason Moss, Anthony Calvillo, McLeod Bethel-Thompson, James Morgan, Davis Alexander. You got a lot of guys there who can help each other and go through. These are the processes that help me as a quarterback. So James Morgan's in a great spot with this crew to be able to have a great unit in the quarterback.
3rd and 1, out of shotgun, handing off to Tice, who spins. He ran into Willie Jefferson initially, but as we see so often with Tice, a lot of second effort, and easily enough to pick up that first down. As the drive continues, only 2 minutes on the clock, and the Alouettes 13 points behind.
An amazing stat that Jason Moss told us this week in interviews: 75 out of 82 players in their building have played this season. So they've had injuries. They expect everybody to perform at the highest level.
said that, too, about Morgan. He's asking him about that, both of them. This quarterback starts the season 4th on the depth. I mean, it doesn't look very likely that by mid-season he'd even get a shot at playing, let alone starting a game. But Moss had said their philosophy in there, always be ready, everybody.
Well, and I think it's really important that you ask those guys' opinions. I know I always, with our 4th string, those guys had to fill out the same sheets as starter. The top 3 guys did. And we would look at that sheet, and I would say, hey, I like this call you made. I put it on the game plan because we asked them, what are your calls? But you still did it with your backups and your 4th string guys.
Completes that pass for a first down to Tyler Snead.
Tell me, was you ready for me? Baby, I'm a rolling stone. I got a lot of right in me, but I don't want to stay this strong. Tell me, would you stay with me? Maybe we can make this home. You should run away with.
So that's enough for a first down for Snead. Morgan again, quickly, high for Rambo. And cutting underneath him was Vavel as Rambo can't hang on. Second down.
I think he's trying to, I'm not sure whether he was trying to take the deeper one and he just was short on it, or he was taking the under one and he's high on it. I think he was trying to throw the deeper throw and it came down a little bit.
Vavel coming in and hitting Rambo, preventing him from catching that ball. Another note on Morgan, what Jason Moss had said, he loved his attitude, positive attitude, and staying engaged, even though he was 4th on the depth. And here he is getting a start tonight. Throwing again to the right. That's to Rambo. Takes a step back and then tries to get what he can. And a shot there for Dexter Lawson. At the end, Evan Holm in there for the Bombers as well. They are shy of a first down.
So the starting quarterback is going to spend a ton of time in the office. He's going to get there early, be one of the first guys in the building, one of the last guys to leave. Seldomly you get your 3rd, 4th string guy, especially the younger guys having that opportunity. I think James Morgan's time in the NFL has helped him with that. But that's what Jason said. From the day he showed up, this was a guy who's prepared. He works very hard, and the players trust that he's prepared.
Well, it's 3rd down now. Time's running out in the Alouettes. Willie Jefferson coming in. He gets rid of that. Speaker has it. Needs to get that first down. A 3rd down play lunging right around the 37. And looks like it may just be enough to move the sticks here for the Alouettes. With Michael Griffin all over him there, he still is able to get it done. They keep going. Here's a deep shot. Morgan, end zone for Rambo, but it's short, and it's intercepted. Morgan is picked off again. It's Vavel who gets it and lands in the Winnipeg end zone, and that should just about do it. Turnovers, part of the story to be sure. 2 interceptions, 1 turnover on downs. But that's it. Winnipeg football. Very little time left, leading by 13.
Trey Vavel making the play on the short throw. Just running it down. Just getting underneath. Rambo can't adjust in time. Vavel does. Takes it at the highest point for the interception.
So if we give this to the Bombers, looking to improve to 6-4 with a couple of games against the Riders over the next 2 weeks, and the Labor Day Classic and the Banjo Bowl. And for James Morgan, not enough on this night in his first CFL start as they start to celebrate on the Winnipeg sideline. The Bombers started 3-0, as did the Alouettes, and they both ran into some turbulence. Montreal 5-5. The biggest story, of course, all those injuries they've had at quarterback. But bear in mind for Winnipeg, it was a worse start a year ago. Look at Oliveira continuing to run. Just barely a minute to go, and he racks up another 10 yards. Pat his stats right there. Let's next week. So, or this week, the rest, excuse me, tomorrow. Elks and the Red Blacks in Ottawa. Lions and Argos. Lapo, you're not going to be there. You're going to be in Ottawa as well. You're a machine this week. Paul Lapolis, keep that face paint on. And you've got 3 straight games on the call for the Elks and the Red Blacks tomorrow, and then the Riders Stampeders game of the week for the best in the West. Saskatchewan Roughriders on top of the CFL at 8-1. And Winnipeg will be thinking about the Riders after this game. Winnipeg got hot a year ago after a sluggish start. Brady Oliveira was a big part of that. And that carry puts Brady Oliveira over 200 total yards offense on the night as he gets 13 more. What a night.
120 rushing on the evening. Like I said, against the second best defense in the Canadian Football League against a run. They're only giving up 80 yards. Brady been dominating factor. And I would say this, I'm thinking about that last interception. Trey Vavel, let's go back to him. Like, this guy went in and became a great punt returner for the Bombers. Oh, well, now we need you to play defense. Step up and play defense. Got a couple interceptions. Been very, the last couple of weeks, really good for Trey Vavel. Keep bringing new players into the organization. That's what you always talk about the Bombers. Oh, they're older. They got older guys. They got Willie Jefferson. You do have to have new players come into the building and step up and make plays. Okay, you're going to get plays from this guy, Brady Oliveira. I talked to him today about his first touchdown. He's like, yep, I'm going to just going to start rolling from there and see Trey Vavel.
And that's after the injury Lapo to Terrell Bonds, devastating against Calgary, and his season is over. And you need someone like Vavel, the versatility that Winnipeg's had in their roster as well. They've had injury challenges. All teams do. Certainly we talked about the Alouettes and what they've gone through, but Winnipeg responding well in this game tonight on the road in the East. Oliveira, 24 touches, 206 total yards, and that one touchdown. Second straight week he's had one. What a night for him. Far and away his best in 2025. For the reigning most outstanding player in the CFL. Why not? Gets it again, crossing midfield. Just a half a minute to go as the Alouettes are about to fall below 500 and suffer their fourth straight loss, Lapo, since 2023. And we remember what they did. It was a turning point for Jason Moss in his first season with the Alouettes. Things looked dire. They'd lost 4 straight, sub 500, and then they went on a tear. They need to do that again. They ran the table the rest of the way, including the Grey Cup victory over Winnipeg.
I believe they brought in Darnell Sankey.
That was a big addition.
And Sean Lemon.
They had Lemon earlier, and then when they brought Sankey in, and an injured Alouette, by the way, is Sean Oakman. But no, for Moss, and he has said that. Obviously, the wins and losses do matter. But when we talked to him about how things have been faltering for Montreal and what he and Danny Machocha have been dealing with these injuries, he expects the attitude, he expects the method to be the same, and that part is important. That doesn't change. The attitude doesn't change.
The players in the building got to expect to be ready to play every game, and you got to expect to be playing at a high level, no matter who steps in. If they're in the building, we expect you to play at a high level. And then you could look at these updated standings. They're where they need to be. They need to get healthy. They need to keep playing. And as Jason said this week, he's like, listen, these are reps that we're going to need our players to get through so we can be successful at the end of the season. So difficult loss, but there are a lot of reps for James Morgan and a lot of the players here to keep growing and building themselves as a team.
The final few seconds here of this ball game. Zach Collaros, great night for him. 27 of 31. You saw the East standings in the West with Winnipeg winning, going to 6-4. Tied in points, playing one more game than Calgary, a team that swept the season series, by the way, against them. So Stampeders in second and trying to get closer to Saskatchewan on top. And that crossover right now with the BC Lions, and they play the Argos in Toronto on Saturday. That's still in play, the way things are going now, with only one team above 500 in the East Division, that being the idle Hamilton Tiger Cats. First meeting of the season between the Bombers and the Alouettes ends up being decisive. First start for James Morgan. Had a couple of plays to remember, but overall, it was a 13-point defeat.
Bombers didn't turn the ball over, got a couple of takeaways. Zach completed 88% of his passes, 263 yards, 0 interceptions, and Brady Oliveira, 16 carries, 137 yards, and 9 receptions for 73. This is a team that does a very good job of hey, this is our opportunity. Let's make our plays. Defense, hold them out of there, Rod. It's a great win for them on the road.
You saw that shot before he elated a Bomber fan who wanted the jersey signed, and he obliged, went over, talked to that fan before. She was excited to meet him, and then look what he did on the field. Easily his best. Bombers win. Sports Center next with Jennifer Hedger and Lindsay Hamilton. Have a great night, everybody.